And hello, welcome, and good evening. This is Hint Plays Tabletop, the tabletop role-playing branch of Hobby Gamers International. And tonight, in a change from the scheduled program, we are playing Swords of Slaughterdeep, an AD&D 2nd edition game. With me, but currently muted so that you don't have to listen to them, we have got... Going clockwise, Nightbites playing Carp Storm Squall, a Sea Ranger. Chrono Magistrate playing Anja Starvilver, a Glyph Scribe of Denier. We have got Alexia playing Stephen, technically a wizard, but a complicated character, let's say. Absent for today is Shard Angel playing Knobwobble, but we have indeed got Robinson playing Lucian Einhart, the Human Cavalier, and Dratacup playing Shrine Ort, the Half-Elven Fighter Mage. And I will now... No, not Fighter Mage, Fighter Thief. I knew what I meant. Okay, that's fine. This is one of those days. Don't expect too much from my DMing today. Having just got Shrine's class wrong, I also managed to call out the wrong name to a co-worker this afternoon. So apparently it's my day for it. Right, I will now unmute everybody so that they can get in on this and save me from having to do all the talking. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
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 So do I get magic as well as the thief skills?
You're certainly welcome to try.
Your magic
by
is
all
things
means,
mysteriously disappearing from other people's pockets.
Next time you fail a climb walls check, feel free to try and cast Featherfall instead of taking some other method to arrest your downward momentum.
I'm feeling picked on already.
Can you imagine if you had to take percentage-based schools of wizardry in the same way as you have your thief skill?
Well, at some point, I want to run at least a one-shot using one of the various incarnations of the RuneQuest system, in which each spell has to be learnt as its own percentile-based skill. So you literally do roll the dice to cast a spell in that game, and if you fail, no spell.
Yes, I like RuneQuest, but I am incapable of being there for more, being in it for more than 2 seconds.
I've always liked RuneQuest as a system. For those who don't know, you're probably more likely to know RuneQuest's younger and more successful brother, Call of Cthulhu, which is based on the same game system. The RuneQuest game system was written by Steve Perrin in order to provide a role-playing game for Greg Stafford's World of Glorantha, which he had started out writing fiction in and then later writing board games before role-playing games even became a thing. It's a bit like The Forgotten Realms. Ed Greenwood started writing The Forgotten Realms as short stories, as fiction, and then this game Dungeons and Dragons came along that let him actually put his friends into that realm that he had created, and The Forgotten Realms grew from there. Well, Glorantha did the same thing with RuneQuest, and Stafford knew that his genius in the eyes of many people was in world design, not in game design, so he went to Steve Perrin and got him to write the game system. And that was the first game to be properly skill-based. D&D at this point still had no skills. It was a very simple game by comparison, and RuneQuest became... it was an absolute breakthrough game, it really was. It's influenced a lot of things ever since. And exists in multiple editions, just like even more editions than D&D does. And at some point we will have to do a bit of RuneQuest. But for today we are playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. This is the 2nd edition, so 5th edition players should find enough familiar about this edition to know what's going on, but still have a few things that seem weird, like the use of Thaco, armor class going the wrong direction so that the lower your number the better, things like that. And also the non-weapon proficiencies system, which later became a proper skill system in 3rd edition. Nevertheless, it's probably closer to 5th edition than it is to 3rd or 4th, because with 5th they were really trying to get back to the classic 1st and 2nd edition, mainly 1st edition, feel of D&D, while keeping the D20 system, so it should be relatively familiar. We are playing in the Forgotten Realms in the year 1367, 9 years after the Time of Troubles, just a few years before the 3rd edition version of the Forgotten Realms, so most of the events that more recent players will be familiar with in the Forgotten Realms have not happened, and much of the realms is very different to how it now appears.
No crashing moons.
For example.
No, you're not. You don't have a bee in your bonnet about that at all.
No.
No spell plague, none of that nonsense.
No. There is, however, a dirty great hole where there used to be, land. Is it the Helmlands?
Yeah, the Rift Scar.
Yeah, there are a number of interesting things. This edition saw the introduction of wild magic. Wild magic later became a standard. For example, in 5th edition, wild magic is one of the things that you can have as, I believe, both warlocks and wizards can use wild magic in 5th edition, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't play a lot of 5th edition, like hardly any. But wild magic in the Forgotten Realms, the explanation for it was down to the Time of Troubles. During the Time of Troubles, the goddess of magic was killed, and one of her worshippers, a wizard, was raised to become the new goddess of magic. There was a little bit of a change of the guard during the Time of Troubles.
For all of 3 seconds.
But in various places.
Or was that Alexia?
Alexia.
No, it's me. It's me.
Okay.
It's me. I am trying to, as usual, I'm fiddling. I am actually trying to put on my my sketchbook in a position where I wouldn't throw everything out of the desk every single time I'm trying to reach for a pen, and I'm failing.
Yeah, no, I assumed it was Pippin.
Yeah, no, he's here being actually quite good at the moment.
Poor Pippin is a very, very good child. Do not blame Pippin for my own clumsiness.
He is a pain in the ass, but he's being
point proven. Look at that face. he can do anything. He can summon Cthulhu, and
I wouldn't put
everybody
it
would just be.
To be honest, I shouldn't have disturbed him now, though, should I? Now lie down, cat. So yeah, there are various places in the realms that are either magic dead, places where magic simply will not function, no matter how powerful you are. If you are in one of these magic dead places, no joy. You have no connection at all to the weave and to magic. And there are places which are a little bit chaotic, where everybody's magic counts as wild magic. And this was how Wild Mages started. We started in the Forgotten Realms Adventures book, which was the update book that they released for 2nd edition. Just added in some notes on what had changed for 2nd edition. And that included a wild magic table for these locations. And people obviously thought, this is cool, we like wild magic. So then in the Tome of Magic, which came a little while later, wild mages became available as a class option. And you can get wild magic rolls just for being that type of mage. Including a wonderful, wonderful spell called Nahal's Reckless Dwemer, which is just an excuse to roll on the wild magic table. That's pretty much all it does. You're supposed to pick a spell that you can cast, and then you cast Nahal's attempting to get that spell, the one that you've specified. But the odds of actually getting it, on a percentile roll, you've got to get well over 100 to get the spell that you're looking for, and your wizard level as a bonus is not significant. So mostly it's going to give you a random effect instead. But it is still a very fun spell. When I ran a wild mage, that was the only spell I ever memorized.
Magdalena.
Yes, Magdalena was fun. A swashbuckler wild mage.
Okay, so
when last we played, our characters spent the bulk of the last session interrogating a captive who was one of the rogues that had been sent to burn down the grocer's store in the Adventurers' Quarter, store belonging to a halfling by the name of Nindel Jalbuk. They succeeded in defeating this evil scheme, defeated the giant elemental beast that had been magically summoned to actually perform the arson, and captured one of the rogues. So then they interrogated him, but unfortunately weren't really able to get much out of him. As far as they can tell, mainly because he didn't really know anything. Eventually, they released him, much to his surprise, but Nobwobble sent their familiar, Jitterbug, to follow him. Since Shard is not here for this session, we will say that in between the end of the last session and the beginning of this session, Nobwobble has wandered off to check on Jitterbug and make sure that he's okay. So that's why Nobwobble's not here. The party split at the moment is as follows. Karps and Shrine are heading back, as far as I'm aware, to the Safe Haven Inn, having just been involved in a conversation with the Halfling and with a Magister of the city, who are effectively wandering judges and lawkeepers. They're normally summoned in for major things, and in this case, one was talking to Nindle when Karps and Nobwobble turned up. He has essentially given the party his permission to continue investigating what is going on at the moment, despite the fact that they have no official legal authority. Meanwhile, Lucien and Ange have headed off to the Zorstar, which is the headquarters of the Guild of Scribes, Scriveners and Clerks, or Scriveners, Scribes and Clerks, I can never quite remember which, and also sort of serves as the unofficial headquarters of the priesthood of Daenerys in the city, for the obvious reason that Daenerys is the god of such people, and indeed of all written language. And their goal is to try and seek information on a mage's sigil that they found on the magic artifact that was used to summon the beastie. Does that sound about right to everybody?
It was a Mephit on steroids. You're making
it was a Mephit on the enlarged spell, actually, but that's
You're telling me that
arcane
that's not
steroids, if that's what you want.
Steroids.
Yeah.
Right, because we lost Jeddah, who plays Stephen's other half, Stephanie, partway through the last session. At the end of the session, Stephanie had gone off to do a little bit of networking of her own and make contact with the local Wizards Guild. The guys whose name I can't remember. That's
Guild of Wizards?
No, this is Waterdeep. Everybody's got really
The
unnecessarily flashy names in Waterdeep.
This is Stephen in character. Gotcha. I am off to meet the other nerds because Stephanie wants to, and I'm gonna do anything Stephanie wants.
The explanation was largely that this is another good line of investigation. She took a copy of the mage's sigil with her so she could see whether she could get it identified, and secondly, she does need to actually sort of make contact with the local wizards anyway, because as she gains in experience, she's going to need further training or they are going to need further training in their magic arts. By the time Stephanie returns, Stephanie will be Stephen again. And we'll still have all the information that Stephanie gained, but a different voice to tell it in.
I love
Why
Stephen.
Why can I not find the list of guilds? It must be in the Who's Who book, mustn't it? That's a logical place for it to be. Yes, there we go.
It's okay. It's Stephen's week anyway, so he'll be like, "Look, that's Stephanie's nerd stuff. I am here to stab, but hi, it's a pleasure to meet you. Do you have any spells that would help me hunt?"
Certainly. Plenty of them. Do you have any money to buy them?
I like Stefan even.
Just, I don't know, maybe one that turns the bear into barbecue immediately.
That's really specific. I mean, you could start small,
Look, I know that Stephanie usually does the cooking of whatever I hunt, but...
The Watchful Order of Mages and Protectors. That must be them.
That's it. They've all got medieval guild names.
Yeah, they have got proper
They
medieval
sound
guild
like
names. It's
friends.
great, yeah. So their headquarters is at the Tower of the Order on the Street of Bells in Castle Ward. Whereas the Zorstar, of course, is on Quillally in Trades Ward. And that's the one that I've got marked on screen. For those watching the stream, you can see that little green circle there, just barely in the middle of the map, and that is showing where the Zorstar is. So, to make life easier for everybody, I'm going to slightly spin on a bit here, and we will deal later with what happens during those researches in flashback. But for now,
That always goes so well.
yeah, I know. Well, there's no chance of anybody dying in one of these flashbacks, so we should be all right. I say no chance. I mean, there's no significant chance, barring players being really, really perverse. Given the players that we've got, there's always a possibility, of course.
This sounds like a challenge.
No,
it's not a challenge of
not
evil. You're fine.
A challenge. Okay, so we are going to jump ahead to your arrival, everybody except Knobwobble, back at the Safe Haven Inn, where Karps and Shrine, who were there already, have been approached by a young lad, fairly typical street urchin type, saying, "You're the adventurers, ain't ya?"
Really? Is that accent genuine?
That's what he sounds like. Why shouldn't he? He's a street urchin, that's what they all sound like, Mary Poppins.
The last time I played a character like that, it was actually a 24-year-old halfling female in disguise as Kevin.
Was that in disguise as a Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay. Just check.
Yes, she was playing an urchin called Kevin. Big boots, hide the feet. I liked her. Right. I think I've inadvertently killed Alexia, and I'm not sure how.
Get an F in chat.
So young urchin. This me trying to act all authoritative here.
Yeah.
What do you have to tell us?
I got a message for you from what was his name? Bloke in the shop, Esimuth.
Esimuth.
Yeah.
Remind me which shop.
Right, that is the fellow. You did buy some stuff from him. He
Oh,
was the
that's the
first
first
person
one.
you talked to in the
Hardware
Adventurers
store.
Guild, the hardware store, effectively, yeah. Esimuth's equipment.
Yes, I liked him.
Yeah,
Probably dead.
he's got a problem and he needs some adventurers. So he said, could you come by straight away and have a word with him?
Did he just randomly accost you in the street, or were you passing, or does he keep a stable of urchins?
Well, I mean, I do sleep in the stable sometimes, if they don't spot me.
A stable of race urchins.
Well, I was washing his windows, actually.
Oh, right, you do.
Yeah.
I suppose it's easier than washing the windows on your average carriage. You know, the doors don't drive off.
The stores don't move off, yeah, this is true. No, I was washing his windows and he came out and he said, do you want to earn another silver? And I thought, shit, do I?
Understandable.
Easy job and all, you know, just come and tell you he wanted to talk to you.
Uh-huh. Well, we've got time, I suppose. This is Ted Karps.
Yeah. Thank you very much. What was your name, lad?
Bugger, didn't think you'd ask that.
Ah.
Nice to meet you, bugger. I didn't think you'd ask that.
Let's go with his name being Barga, and he's known on the street as City Barga.
No, that is not his name at all.
Is now.
Everyone's just going to automatically refuse to call him whatever name you come up with.
My name's Khan.
Oh, does he get angry a lot? Right. Okay, Con.
Can't.
A real citizen of this place.
Thank you very, very much for
Oh, God. That took a second. Sorry.
bringing this to us. We will head there post haste. We just need to collect our friends on the way.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
It's dangerous to
I'll
go
reach the
alone.
popcorn purse and get a silver for your efforts. Thank you very much.
He's got it coming and going.
Yeah.
Wait, Nick.
This urchin is getting more money than I get.
Anybody
Anything-
is.
Anything you want, anything at all. Just, I'm always around. Just look out for me. Find me. Whatever you need, I'll do it. Anything. You're good folk. You are. I'll go and tell him you're coming.
Thank you very much.
And he disappears off back out the back door, heading up towards
Once
SMS
he's
equipment.
out of earshot, turn into Shrine. Do you ever think that maybe perhaps that didn't come from our friendly shopkeeper, but came from our friendly protection racketeers that might want to off us for interrupting on their work?
I would never dream of being so suspicious of an obviously well-mannered and upright citizen like young Khan. But personally, if we go, I'm keeping my dagger, my rapier loose.
Yes, quite.
So is this at the point we all turn up then?
If we could get hold of the others before we head out, yes.
Yeah.
And as if by magic,
As if by magic,
Ta-da.
people begin to come back in. Yes.
I just love the if we can get a hold of the others. Like, I'm not even hoping.
Yeah, we're optimists.
It's just that moment where you just give up.
No, we're not giving up yet.
well, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Someone cries injustice and Lucian's off on one.
Yeah.
And
You're
just
not
wrong.
wrong.
Lucian just chomps off
Yeah.
on horseback. Poor old Onja clinging frantically.
Yeah.
You need to go that way.
Ondra and Lucian come ambling back, deep in discussion about the nature of Lucian's values.
I was saying it's probably more going to be like the etymology of the word justice. You can trace the word justice back to its root in this language.
No.
Actually, like Ondra is happy to talk about that because it distracts you from like any of the pilfering like urchins that you might have seen along the
Yeah.
way and have been tempted to.
Yes, you pass a very
that's
suspicious-looking
low-tier
urchin
stuff.
on
That's-
your way into
that's
the
not
inn.
what a hero deals with.
Well, an urchin pocketing way too much cash.
Yes, yeah.
Clearly half-inched it off someone.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Okay.
They obviously won't just all suddenly appear at the same time, but you can afford to hang around a little bit, and everybody will be back, except not.
Oh, what, we don't get that dramatic moment where the entire party just happens to arrive at the same
At the same
crossroad
time.
from each different bit of the road at the same time.
Kind
Was
of,
that where
but
someone looked
not
down
quite.
and got your draw distance turned down, so the party didn't actually appear until they were directly outside the inn.
It's one of those games where if you move too far, it automatically teleports you back to the person hosting it.
Oh no. Which, when you're trying to run away from something, is not good.
It's a little awkward, yeah.
Okay. So yes, when the others appear, has anyone got anything really time sensitive they need to be doing?
No, we will need to fill you in on what we found out as a Zorstar, but is there something that has cropped up while we were away?
Well, we've just had a young
Yes.
lad turn up saying that Ensfer, the
Esmith.
hardware. Sorry?
Esmith.
SMS. Sorry, where did Ensfer come from? Sorry, I am, for benefit of the chat, I'm still fighting off this headache, so my brain is currently kind of rebounding a bit off the inside of my skull. It's okay, it's just words are kind of bouncing off rather than going in.
I just had a real for the benefit of the tape moment there. I thought we were done with the interrogation.
I did rather. So, appreciatedly, but it's fine. It's just, as I said, names at the moment just aren't sticking. Big pile of them over there somewhere. Yes, a young lad turned up by the name of Khan, claiming that he was asked to ask us to come and help the merchant on the grounds that apparently he needed some adventurers, or a problem that adventurers would be needed to solve. So he trawled all the way down here to find us.
It's not that far.
It's not that far, I suppose, but you're in the adventurers' quarter. Surely you just throw a stone and you'll hit 3 parties.
Ah, but the adventurers' quarter is full of retired adventurers.
Okay, so they won't be dodging the stones you throw.
And Azimuth, you will note, is aware that you, a group of active adventurers, are currently at the Safe Haven Inn.
And probably cheaper.
Definitely cheaper.
Possibly cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper than the urchin that you just generously donated to.
Yes. Donate to the Urchins Are Us Fund.
I thought local urchins might be something that we might be in need of, so keeping one friendly might be a good
I
move.
just
Oh, absolutely.
have this image now of you holding an adventure-thon to raise money for local urchins. We'll be slaying monsters for a full 24 hours. If you'd like to sponsor us...
You see,
Tune in at this crystal ball in order to.
yeah, I have to say I've always liked the Baker Street irregular model.
Yeah. I mean, I may have read too much Sherlock Holmes. That may be why Khan was quite the way Khan was.
Yeah, but that's absolutely fine because who knows the streets better than the people who have to live on it, which does mean you can never pay them well enough to get off the streets.
Yes, because otherwise you lose a valuable asset.
You lose a valuable resource.
The last thing you want to do is turn them into Jimmy the Hand.
Yes, unless you are actually going to turn them into Jimmy the Hand and do the whole.
In which case, they really should be a player character.
Yes, very much. Cabal Vision, yes. Okay, so yeah, he apparently could do with a hand. We don't know what in, and we're not sure if it's him or whether potentially we're being set up.
Could
It's
it be a
just
bit of
for-
both?
Could be.
Fish, just for my recollection, Estimate's store, is that within the area of effect that we suspect this protection racket might be happening in?
Yes, it is. He was the first person you spoke to when you came into this part of town. As I recall, he did not say that he'd had any trouble from anybody. But on the other hand, he's a former adventurer, missing one leg, but that wouldn't necessarily stop him. And he's also the fellow who sold you some useful gear, like some nice rope.
Yeah.
I need to buy another net anyway, so... Because some
This is true.
bugger burnt the last one.
Yeah, everyone sits there going,
Well, I mean, if you will throw it on a fire method, then.
The fire method appeared underneath it. I didn't
Yeah.
throw it on.
potential for a fireproof net. And would it need to be made of magical equipment, or could you make it from something like, is it turkey oak, that just doesn't burn particularly at all? Beaten fibres or something.
Interesting
Massively
idea.
expensive, but
I think it'd be difficult to get something that was flexible enough to turn into rope that wouldn't burn eventually.
yeah.
I
You could-
think we need knob wobble.
You could probably find a fabric that that took a while to burn, but in the face of magical fire, then
Could they?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously we are talking demonic. Demonic
Could it-
fire. That was not really going to be a goer.
Be
Well,
like
it's elemental fire, but
chain link net?
we probably don't want metal nets.
Why not?
Oh god, that could be painful. If
That could be.
you would need a loop on the end to actually grip it
Yeah, it's just
going.
it It's got a wooden handle, like for pots. And then you have 2 birds, 1 stone.
But you still get friction burns.
I mean, you're gonna get friction burns from
You will
road.
get friction
No, you-
burns, Robinson.
You'd get bruises.
No, I was just thinking, right, if you had a fireproof net, which obviously is made of fireproof rope, would you still get friction burns?
Gotcha. Right.
Robinson, hold on to this end. I'll pull it, and you tell me if you get a friction burn.
You get after your fingers off the floor.
You're more likely to have it more of a cheese grater burn than a friction burn.
Fair enough. I just love the fact that you have a strip of chain just lying around.
I made it myself.
Yeah.
You could perhaps be a little bit more careful with your pronunciation there, Drat. He has a strip of chain and not a stripper chain, which I suspect would be a different thing.
Another one for the facepalm record.
Yes.
Oh, I need to wear thicker makeup. My hair's gone the same. My face has gone the same shade as my hair.
Meanwhile, back at the plot.
We had a plot.
I'm sorry for you and your plot.
I've got either a side quest or an insidious ambush by the secondary villains of this scenario, depending on which I think seems most appropriate when you get there.
Well, when it went into the quest log, did it go into the side quest section, or did it go into the main story part with the optional?
Well, see, unfortunately, I'm very ill prepared in this particular campaign, and as a result, it hasn't gone into the quest log.
I think it depends on how much we annoy Fitchy.
Darn that fantasy ground and its coding.
Oh god.
Okay, yeah. So I think the best way to determine whether or not this is a trap is to go and trip it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and expecting it to be a trap is the best way to not get completely snared by it.
Is this the same day as the interrogation, Fish?
Yes, this is later the same day.
Okay, cool. I'm out of spells, by the way.
Oh, good. Good.
There's Andy.
Yes, they were used to heal people.
Yeah.
Well, on the plus side, and I'll say this as we're walking towards Esmith's shop. If this does turn into an investigation into this, we do have, courtesy of an encounter that we had earlier with Magister Arcrile, his permission to continue investigation into this and report our findings to him, such that he can take Magister action against the culprits.
That's interesting. I haven't been in the city long, but these magisters are the...
They're a step above the watch.
Right. Okay. I did familiarise myself with the basic tenets of law and order in Waterdeep, but the details you might have to.
They have Fish. Correct me if I'm wrong. They have the ability to judge on the spot.
Yeah, they have power of sentencing, so the watch will bring people in, but it would be a magister who actually decides what is to be done with them. Unless it's nobility, in which case they'll probably end up going directly before the lords.
Yeah. So the magisters are in fact the law.
They are the law, yes. They are the judges.
Excellent.
Fortunately, I resisted the temptation to call this guy Magister Dread. I resisted that.
I don't know if I appreciate you for resisting that or not. I'm still on the fence.
Fair enough. But now I know what the conversation was about with the Magister, because of course I witnessed that.
But you didn't hear it, no. But you've had some time, so
Yes.
Carps
Yeah.
could have filled you in on that beforehand, but nobody
From the
else was
underwater-
there,
from
so they
there
didn't
back
know
to the-
anyway.
Yes.
Well, that is an interesting turn up for the book. So,
There was also, and this I again will have filled Carps in on. There was a bit of disagreement in the watch house.
Oh yes.
The Magister paid them a visit. Now, I couldn't get 100% of what he said, But to be brutally honest, I don't think they liked it very much. There does seem to be some conflict going on in there.
Did you happen to tell the Magister about the symbols that we had found on the back wall?
I didn't speak to him, so I don't know if Carps
No.
did.
Yeah, I'm addressing the
Yeah,
Trine
that's right.
and Carps, but yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
The symbols that we had found on the back wall, suggesting that it was a safe haven for thieves.
I didn't know. I had forgotten that when I was so taken aback by the fact that all of a sudden there was a Magister there. It slipped my mind. I do apologise.
Understandable. Perhaps it is something that we wish to keep in our pocket for the time being, and present it to the Magister all at once.
A very good thing to do. We have his permission to continue the investigation, so we can bring that back as a part of our findings.
Yeah.
So
I turn to Lucian as I presume we're proceeding to.
that is a
To
reasonable
the shop.
assumption, unless someone has anything, any objection to it. That you're just walking up to the top of up Weeping Maiden's Run to building AQ1 on the Adventurers Quarter now.
So I turn to Lucian. So you must be quite pleased. It seems like some justice may be served after all.
I mean, that's natural, because that's how justice works. And it's always done.
Oh, you were serious?
If you're
Justice
teaching
will
classes
always
to
be done
Druid,
when
will
I'm
you be
here,
interested
at
in
least.
natural justice?
I'd heard people like you existed, but I didn't really expected to be venturing with one. I learn something new every day.
Look,
That's because
Lucian
it's very rare to run into a hero. You know, there's only
Lucian
one per story.
is prepared to dish out justice on his own, and we must appreciate that. Justice is always done because he does it.
Someone
There-
understands at least. As long as one person understands.
There's a solipsism in there somewhere.
There is, isn't there? I'm not sure that's a good precedent to set.
Lucian deals out justice. Therefore, if justice is to be dealt, if justice is dealt out, therefore it is Lucian who does it.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Therefore, it's just. Huh.
You know, because Lucian is so fair and just.
Yeah, let's hope Lucian never has a bad day.
So
You mean like
arrive
every one of
at-
Lucian's
There is no
days?
such thing as a bad day. My days are always just.
You arrive at Esimuth's equipment. It looks pretty much exactly how it did when you were last here. It's a 2-story tenement. The bottom floor, the ground floor, is the equipment shop, which is cluttered with all kinds of weird and wonderful things. There's a wooden sign outside showing an armoured knight walking doubled over with an overstuffed pack. Although cluttered, the inside of the store is extremely well organised. So there's a heck of a lot here, but everything's in its place, including Esimuth himself. A short, bearded, retired adventurer, currently sitting. This time he's on this side of the counter, whereas previously, when you saw him before, he was sitting behind the counter. And he turns as the doorbell tings as you come in, and I have to find his voice because you insisted that he had to be he had to sound like a pirate. I don't remember why you insisted on that, but I remember there was an insistence that he had to sound like a pirate.
Did we last play on? Did we first encounter him on National Pirates Day or something?
I honestly can't
Talking
remember.
Pirate Day, yeah.
I don't
Or was it
know,
just an
it might
account
have
of
been.
the missing limb or something?
I think it was just.
I think it may have been just a peg leg, yeah, but either way, that's. So I got to do my Wurzel's voice for him now, haven't I? He's got a brand new combine harvester and everything.
I'm trying to remember, Fish. He is a short human, not a dwarf.
He is
isn't
a short human, not a dwarf. That's right. Says in his description he's commonly mistaken for a dwarf because of his beard and his being short, but he's not. And also because he's slightly dour on occasion.
I can empathise with that.
Ah. I was hoping you people would turn up. I got a bit of a problem.
Okay.
I thought it might be right
Accent. Not copy his accent.
right in your wheelhouse, I thought. See, thing is, there's a bear in my cellar.
There's a beer in your cellar.
No, a
Are you
bear.
having to drink? Oh,
Big furry thing, claws, teeth.
Why?
how?
I think it was looking for somewhere to hibernate.
Aren't
That-
you
that time of
in
year.
the middle of the bloody town?
Very well, let's go slay it. Sort
We're
out.
not
No,
playing
do not kill the
anything.
fauna.
A
Lucian,
a
do
bear,
not kill the
Can
fauna.
you even find a bear in a city?
Okay,
bear
well, there is a
nature.
bit more of a story to this, obviously.
Sorry, Chrono, what you say? I'll let you finish.
are bears native fauna to Waterdeep?
No.
Like
you see, that's,
Andre is genuinely surprised.
that's
'Cause remember,
why...
he comes from Am.
Yeah, that's why there's a bit more of a story to this. Funny enough, actually, it might be of interest to you in particular. About 10 days ago, it was, a group of adventurers came in here wanting to sell some loot that they'd brought up from Undermountain. And in amongst it, there was this Amish puzzle box. And, you know, I gave them some money for the loot, and I put it on display, and the puzzle box, wasn't a lot I could do with the puzzle box till I knew how to open it, obviously, because I can't sell it as it is. I'd sell it for a lot less if you don't know how to open it. So last few weeks, every now and then, last few 10 days, every now and then I've sat down and I've had a little bit of a fiddle trying to open this puzzle box. And this morning I finally figured it out. And inside the puzzle box, I found this stick, a wand, I suppose. And I thought, that's nice. I thought some sort of dark wood. Don't know a lot about precisely what it is. With a couple of ivory bands on it. And I thought, that's nice. I'm going to have to get somebody to look at that, find out whether it's actually magical, because obviously if it is, it's going to be worth a lot of money. So, as I was putting it away, trying to think who I could go and ask, because, I mean, you know, there's Call Out Tower just across the way there, but they're not really very open, Call Out boys, so I thought maybe not them. But anyway, as I was putting it away, I noticed one of these ivory bands was a bit loose, and I had a bit of a poke at it in case I needed to glue it before I could sell it to anybody. And much to my surprise, it kind of like flashed. The whole thing just sort of flashed. And I dropped it because it came as a bit of a surprise, you know. I've been an adventurer, but I've still not seen much like that in my time. Not without a wizard doing some chanting first. Anyway. And, you know, blinked the spots out of my eyes, and when I looked, I dropped the wand on the floor in my cellar, and it had become like the bottom of this portal, I suppose, this ragged hole in my cellar leading through to a forest somewhere.
Oh.
And that's when the bear came in, see? It was kind of looking at me through the through the hole, and I said, shoo, as you do. But it changed. It didn't.
To a giant bear.
So I upped it upstairs, and I thought, I know just the people for getting this bear out of my cellar. There's some adventurers in town. I'm sure they could do with a bit of extra cash, maybe a bit of a discount if they do a good job. So I thought I'd send the boy around to find you people. See whether you can get rid of this bear for me.
Right. Was the portal still open when you ran upstairs?
Well, it was, yeah.
Okay.
And you've not been downstairs since you ran upstairs.
There's a bloody bear down there.
Yeah. He's hoping it's not.
So
a bear
what you're saying right now
This
is
situation sounds
there was a
pretty
bear down there
unbearable.
when you came up here. There might be more by now.
I don't know. Are they particularly sociable? I don't know much about bears.
Depends if it's mating season.
Oh
No,
god.
this time of year it's hibernating season. I know that much. They sleep in the winter, don't they?
As a family unit.
God.
Oh, so there might be more of them then. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
How did Stephen know? Stephen's talking about fireballing bears. How did Stephen know?
We are not fireballing any animals.
Not fireballing anything in an enclosed space.
Stephen always knows.
And as for
Also because he's been living around in the forest for a long time. I mean, not really that long, but they're both elves, half elves, but still, they've got quite a bit of a life going on
Forest.
in the forest. So, of course, being two people in one body, you have to take care of yourself. All of yourself. So, not just for you, but for your sister as well. So if you happen to meet up a little bear in the forest, and your sister's under the weather, you can make bear steak. But what if you're not that good at cooking as your sister? Then wouldn't a spell that already makes the bear into a steak be a net profit? Is what I'm saying.
You've put a lot of thought into this.
That is remarkable logic, Stephen.
Look, Stephanie was sick a while ago. I mean, she just had the flu. It wasn't that, but the thing is, she couldn't really do the cooking for all of the obvious reasons. And if we had some bear steak back then, our lives would have been so much easier. I had to do with so much carrot soup. There was so much carrot soup. She kept asking for carrot soup. I told her, Stephanie, how about some protein? But no. She had to make carrot soup.
I don't know about anyone else, but Shrina is just staring like this.
Yeah,
I think
Anna
Elizabeth is
Anna
doing
was
something very
collapsing.
similar.
Andra has a raised eyebrow.
So, it's not fascinating, obviously, but about this bear in my cellar.
It's okay. I can make your bear into a steak. No, maybe I can just shoe your bear because
I don't mind. If you get it out of my cellar, I'm happy. I don't care if you kills it.
You
I
said
don't
it's
care
hibernation season.
Well, I reckon it is anyway.
Do I know if it's true? If it actually is hibernation season?
Well,
we don't even know where the portal goes, so how would we be able to tell?
This is a good point. Yeah.
I know if around here it's hibernation season.
In Waterdeep, it certainly is. Yes.
Okay, perfectly. That's all I wanted to know. Yeah. I'm gonna ask the guy if he has some fish.
Not on me.
If you tell me it's in the cellar, I swear to God.
This is just
no. See,
can I just go into the cellar and slay it?
No.
If you want things like that, you'd probably be better off going down to the garrulous grocer. And,
Can we please stop talking about slaying the bear? It's trying to find somewhere to hibernate.
I will expel the foul beast.
What we need to do is encourage it to go through the portal the other way, and then we close the portal.
Since when are bears foul beasts?
But
I need to know, have you ever
bear
seen
is
a bear?
Valuable as well.
Owl bears, they could be considered foul beasts.
They're
owl's not chicken, but it's close.
It's not an owlbear, though, is it?
No, just a bear.
Okay.
It hasn't terrorised anyone.
No. Does the shop sell either spears, spear hafts, or tool hafts?
Yes. Any or all of the above.
In the meantime, Stephen is going to run to the grocer's to get some fish.
I'm thinking staves, and I'm thinking we use them to push the bear, keeping it at 6 foot length, because I'm quite fond of that idea.
Andra taps his quarterstaff.
Sorted. No sword, only stick.
No sword, only stick.
Yes.
Stick is not a tool of justice. You need to be
meme there.
Close distance with your quarry in order for justice to be fair.
I just have this image now of Lucian walking back in with his lance and saying, "Okay, stick."
I had the same image.
Oh, I love this so much.
You're okay.
Yep, Moliere's got it absolutely spot on. You need to social distance the bear.
Stay 6 feet away from all.
Have you all got a mask to wear?
Actually,
I have a helmet. Does that count?
Yeah, that's close enough.
I'm an elf.
It's got to be as
Does
good as
that
those
help?
useless plastic visors that don't do anything.
Yeah.
Oh god, yes.
Shrine can just do the whole mantle up and then the face mask part up. It's
She's
sorted.
got a ninja mask, so she'll be
She has
fine.
got a
Yeah.
ninja mask, yeah.
What?
Okay.
Okay,
So
well,
yeah, we'll borrow, because we are going to give them back. We'll borrow enough staves for everyone who hasn't got one.
so yeah, while you're sorting that out, Stephen dashes down to the Garrulous Grocer and can come
you.
back with some fish. It is unfortunately salted. You have to hope that the bear doesn't mind that.
I don't think the bear is going to be worrying about its blood pressure.
Actually, sometimes animals do need salt. So
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
salt
bet
is an
on that.
essential part of every creature's diet, pretty much.
I
Yeah.
mean, they give like literal salt blocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Salt mix, yeah.
Wildlife parks. and
Salt
stuff.
blocks. Good. I heard soap blocks, and I had a
It's
moment.
not quite the same thing.
Salt licks, if I
Yeah.
recall correctly.
That's right.
Yes. Salt licks and soap licks are very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
Very much
Do
very
not
popular.
do not give
Yeah.
your bear soap. It's not gonna make COVID. Please don't give your bear soap. It's not gonna wash its hands.
We
So-
also know we are not bringing beer for the bear.
Azimuth will show you to a door that leads to a
What about a
flight of
cigarette?
stairs.
No.
The stairs
that
go
Russian bear
down,
that you
turn 90
smoke?
degrees, and then continue on into
Oh,
the cellar.
Polish.
And they're a fair size because they're used for lugging things up and down. So it's not a pokey set of stairs.
Okay, I would suggest
From the top of the stairs,
and have
you
a
can
look.
hear, especially those of you that have detect noise, but without any rolls, you can hear from the top of the stairs the sound of something moving around down there. I mean, you're reasonably certain you can hear the sound of a bear moving around down there, but you haven't seen it yet, so for the moment it's something moving around down there.
I'm gonna make everyone the sign to wait there, and I'm gonna try to stealth. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I'm sorry, Stephanie. I want to stealth. And I want, basically, my aim is to get close enough to the bear. To get close enough to the room to see the portal
Okay.
and throw fish in such a way that it's gonna make the
You're
bear.
gonna make a trail of fish through the portal, aren't you?
Yes,
That's the plan.
thank
Yeah,
you.
That's where I
Yes.
thought you were going with this.
Oh yeah. This is exactly my plan. So I'm gonna
That
try
is
to.
endorsing the adopt the bear plan.
Of course we do. Have you met us? Oh god, and it's gonna
Well,
be
you-
the horrible. Oh my god,
The-
I have skill in fishing. Okay,
The
I'm
campaign
sorry.
may be called Swords of Slaughterdeep, but of course the party has yet to have a name. The Company of the Bear is a possibility if you do adopt it.
Fish, it's not like I've got form for adopting wild animals.
No. And there's definitely never likely to be any kind of a public acclaim from our audience on the idea of adopting anyone or anything. That's just not something that our audience would ever call for.
However,
We-
it's a good plan for Stephen because that's exactly the plan that Shrine had. But if Stephen wants to do it, that's fair.
Okay, so is
I mean, look, all Steven knows is that Shrina asked everybody to get pokey sticks and poke them at the poor bear. And Steven knows that will aggravate the bear because
Those the stabby sticks. I thought that
So-
was a step up, to be honest.
so presumably everybody's standing around with pokey sticks.
Sword.
I would rather they don't stand around
Apart
with
from
pokey
Stephen, who is
sticks.
standing around with fish and sneaking down to the corner of the stairs.
Like, Steven is used to bears. This isn't the first bear that he has to chase away.
He's well aware of what they do in woods.
I'm not used to bears so much as I'd be more comfortable if this were an undead. That's
Yes.
the normal sort of thing you find.
Yeah, you spent a lot of time in the sewer as a kid, didn't
Yeah.
you? So you've probably seen the odd undead or two.
Yeah, exactly. And like Stephen wants to leverage his, as Lucian would put it, his superior knowledge.
Yeah, this is where we find it's actually an opening to the elemental plane of honey.
Bears.
It's
Elemental plane of honey.
It's,
That's where Winnie the Pooh hangs out.
possibly a gate to the happy hunting grounds.
That's an option. It is an option.
It is. I love it.
This bear usually hangs out with Guinevere.
Yes. I loved all the elemental animals in there when just accidentally got taken there. Hunted down, eaten, resurrected, hunted down again.
Yeah. Okay, so Stephen sneaks down to the 90-degree turn on the stairs, and peering around, you can indeed see, for starters, you can see that the cellar is far more brightly lit than a cellar in a city has a right to be, because there is a green-infused, dappled light coming through what does appear to be a hole in space on the far side of the room.
In the far side of the room, god damn it.
Yeah. Inside
That's
the
Steven's
cellar,
thought process.
you can see there are a number of crates and boxes and shelves with additional goods on. However, there's also a large bear. It's a brown bear. It's not giant by bear standards, but it's a brown bear, which means it is also quite large by the standards of anyone who's not a bear. And it's already tipped over several boxes, and you can see that there are assorted goods scattered across the floor, and indeed in some cases going out through the portal. And as you are looking, the bear just sweeps something with its forepaw, which skitters across the floor and bounces through into the forest glade beyond the portal.
Oh, we're gonna have to go and get all the stuff. Bloody animal.
At least it didn't knock
The
the wand through
Like
the
it was
portal,
going
and then
to be
the portal
that easy.
disappeared because the wand was never.
Do we know where?
Oh my
Do we know
god.
where the wand is?
Guessing
From
at the
here,
bottom.
you can't really see it. According to the description Azimuth gave you, it should be at the bottom of the foot of the portal, but you can't.
It'd be
see
really
it.
awkward if
Or-
the condition for the portal closing was something going through it, because then it.
Well, we've
I love
only
your
had,
optimism.
we've only had inanimate things go through it theoretically.
So far, yeah.
From this side, what if it's a living thing goes through it and closes?
A single fly just happens to go through it. Right, that's it, done.
It is a good reason to not kill the bear. It's got to be said, because if you can shuffle the bear through the portal, then you'll find out whether that is true without one of you stepping through to an unknown location.
I don't know, that
Again,
sounds like a pretty heroic journey.
This is why I was suggesting we usher the bear through the portal.
We weren't
It's
exactly
okay,
told
we
to
can just
retrieve
stab it to a
anything.
point of near death, then throw it through.
So, Stephen,
Lucian,
are you presumably reporting back what you've seen, since you're the only one currently peering around the corner on the stairs?
Of course.
Sort of make sure of this.
I'm gonna add in some swear words because I don't really like the idea that we're missing a magical instrument that could help us close the portal. And like right now, Steven's wheels are turning, his brain wheels are turning, and his thought process is basically, okay, so what if we cannot close this portal? We can, eat the bear, which is cool. But
We are not
If we
that's a
can't,
leap.
bear.
if we can't get the bear out, we'll just eat it instead. Like, jumping to that
no,
conclusion.
we're gonna throw it in the pit. We're not gonna. I mean, we can eat it. We can hunt it down, and we can sell it to the greengrocer.
We're not eating the bear. The bear is off the menu.
I'm sure the bear will
I'd
be glad
rather-
to hear that.
We're
You
just
know,
on
like-
Apple. We can sort you out something if you're that fetish.
What book trilogy is it? It's not through the looking
I'm
glass.
sure if you're really that hungry, we can find you a water Davian pie from somewhere.
Yes.
Oh,
No beer in there. But
oh my god, great point. We can sell the meat to
No.
the.
No.
No, they want boar, not bear.
The bear is off the menu. We are not killing the bear. We are not eating the bear. The bear gets to live.
Robin's
in all
End, are you
situations.
perhaps thinking of his Dark Materials?
I can't remember. I think Golden Compass is in the trilogy. I can't remember the name
Right,
of the
in that
trilogy.
case,
That
the
is
book
his
is called
Dark
Northern
Materials.
Lights. Golden Compass is its American title. In this country, it's called Northern
Okay.
Lights. Thank you very much. And
Oh my god.
and yes, that is his Dark Materials by
Yeah.
Craig
Okay.
Coleman.
I've not read the books. I just know they exist.
They're very good books.
The movie is far inferior to the books.
yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but it's nowhere near as good as the books. I also enjoyed the BBC TV series. I'm
I
looking
still
forward
need
to
to
the
see
second season.
Yeah. But yes, the books are excellent. All 5 of them thus far. Oh god.
I never understood the thing of changing names for America.
Yeah.
Because they did it with Harry Potter as well.
Well,
And,
with Harry Potter, it was a confusion thing.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
sure why it was with Northern Lights. Although I gather, if I remember rightly, that it was actually first published there and changed back to his original title of Northern Lights for the UK edition. But I may be misremembering that.
There was a bigger problem with License to Kill, in my humble opinion, the Timothy Dalton Bond, which was license revoked until it was tested in America and the audience didn't know what revoked meant. The actual test audience is still in
Yeah,
the
because
server.
the book was license revoked, wasn't
It
it?
was, yeah.
Yeah.
And they changed it to License to Kill, which of course doesn't mean that. Very
Yeah.
strange.
No.
So, Stephen, what do you reckon the chances of getting the bear through the portal
Very high.
with your fish idea?
Very high. The bear seems. Firstly, he seems a bit agitated,
In a
and
confined space, I am not surprised.
exactly. And secondly, it seems like it's trying to. I don't want to say test the waters because that's not really what it's doing. It's more like trying to shove items through the portal,
Well,
which
It's a very good bear. I'm sure that's a good book.
it's such a good kid. I love this bear.
well, let's see if we can get rid of it before the shopkeep loses too much more stock.
I
Bear's
mean,
clearly been reading a self-help book about decluttering.
This is where we didn't read the small text at the bottom of the contract, and it's like, payment for lost goods will be deducted.
You never agreed any payment. I mean,
Yeah.
that's absolutely something that Lucian would sign. Am I not right?
Okay. So, Stephen's ghosting down the stairs.
Oh yeah.
I will follow as stealthily as I can because I want to get the lie of the land and find out it's Lupa.
But
No.
I like that. I like
That
that.
was an unbearable pun.
Ouch.
Oh, I love this so much.
And
Okay, between chat and I'm on the wrong. Am I on the wrong screen? No, I'm not on the wrong screen. Why didn't that work? That's better. Now it's working. Between chat and our bold heroes and their desire to either adopt, eat, or just shoo with sticks a bear, I'm going to award a brownie point to the party. You've got 3d4 brownie points now.
cool beans.
Thank you.
I still need to get a nice graphic way of displaying the brownie points in Fantasy Realms, but I haven't quite made that work yet.
So nice.
Is that because it's a brown bear? So we got a brown
So it's
point.
a brownie point. Absolutely, yeah. You'd get a much better one if there'd actually been a brownie down there.
Oh.
Who says there isn't? It's a forest.
So what we need to do is go find a
That's a good
bakery and
point.
get them to make us a bunch of brownies.
What we need to do is
Not
kill
quite what
the
I was
bear
thinking
and
of.
cook it into a brownie.
Oh.
It's so
There's actually a bakery downtown.
No.
Like here where I live, and they do these chocolate brownie things with mint icing, and I absolutely love them.
Well, at
I
least
want
that's-
somebody somewhere to make chocolate brownies in the shape of sort of little fae with pointy hats.
No,
I
because
just think that would be
Alexian-
brilliant.
Alexia's now just made me think of like what a meat brownie would be, and it's like that's not a.
That's not something I'm comfortable with, but let's
No.
do it.
I think there may be sand loss involved with that concept.
It's like meat pie but horrible. I love it.
Okay,
oh my
so
god, they exist.
what?
So,
Meat brownies?
Chocolate beef brownies.
oh my god.
Well, because I know like chocolate and beef does go well like in Mexican cuisine, but
Yeah.
putting that into a block form, oh no.
When you say putting it into block form, all of a sudden that sounds like a fudge.
Oh god.
I'm sure beef fudge has a completely different meaning under.
Oh,
Welcome to Hid Place Tabletop. Only here will you hear these discussions. I mean, literally no other stream would go there.
Is it a USP or are we just useless? I don't know at this point.
I think it's a USP, definitely.
We are fun. We're here to entertain people, and those
Yep.
people are partly us.
Okay. So,
So,
Alexia, Stephen is down the stairs with a fish. I'm partway down the stairs trying to see where the bear is. Please, Goldfish, let me roll a stealth check.
okay.
No, you
Stealth checks aren't really needed until you go past the halfway point. Halfway down the stairs, they turn, which is where Stephen poked round to see the bear. So you can get down to there, no problems, and you can see the same thing. You can see the bear. It is basically decluttering. Yeah, it seems to be just shoving things around. You suspect that it is, looking at the couple of crates that it's pushed over, you suspect that it is essentially making kind of a nest and just shoving things that it doesn't want out of the front of the cave. Hence, there is this small pile of objects going out onto the grass of the forest on the far side of the portal. Now, to get fish to the portal, you're going to have to somehow transform me into the game. But no, hang on.
We're going to have to break the fourth wall, is what we're
Yeah,
about.
very much so.
the fourth wall is optional anyway.
To get Pisky bait to the portal, you are going to have to essentially sneak past the bear. From here, there's no way you can get that fish as far as the portal. Now, that's something that potentially, at least, Shrine would be better at than Stephen.
Yeah.
Because Shrine has a move silently score and Stephen doesn't. So quick word about that, because this edition of D&D doesn't have the same skill system as the later ones, where anybody can learn stealth and be sneaky in later editions, and so stealth became far more a part of every player's toolkit. In these early editions, where you don't have things like move silently unless you're actually a rogue, it doesn't mean you can't be sneaky. Obviously, anybody can still sneak. What it means really is that a rogue with their move silently and hide in shadows skills is super sneaky. If you move silently, you are making no noise. Nobody will hear you. Doesn't matter how good. It's not like later editions where you might make an opposed roll of their awareness versus your stealth. If you're either sneaky or you're not, they've got no chance of finding you if you've made a successful move silently or detect hide in shadows, whichever is appropriate roll. For everyone else, then it just becomes a matter of common sense, potentially some rolls against some stats, and what the GM feels like. So yeah, you can still sneak down and maybe the bear won't see you. But you don't have really any control over where the bear
If
sees you because
Shrina
you
tells
don't have
me
the
that
move
she
silently.
can do this, I'm gonna let her do this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hand her the fish, and I'm gonna be like, be careful and be very, very careful. Bears are
Okay.
unpredictable. So if anything, just make a big noise, climb something, and I'm gonna come out to get you.
It's a cellar. What exactly do you think I could climb? It's taller than
The
a
wall?
pit.
There are shelves in this goddamn cellar.
I've seen the bastards. Well, I've seen pictures of the bastards. They can climb trees.
Yeah, they can.
Shelves. Damn
But I'm not gonna be that far.
Fine, I'll just jump in, man. You know, hide in the corner with my shield. Literal meat shield.
No. It will be fine.
Until you
Okay,
die.
but
I'm
This is
still.
like that bit
Be
in the
careful.
tutorial of Skyrim, where it's teaching you how to do archery, and it's like, you could kill the bear, or you could sneak past it.
I mean, it's true though. You could do either of those things.
Okay.
We are not killing the bear. Just say we are not killing the bear.
Yeah.
Why is everyone so against killing the bear?
Maybe because I'm a ranger.
That might have something to do with it.
A bit. And bears can swim last time I checked as well. So, you know, you're not even done as a sea ranger.
Yeah. That's what
Um,
bears can swim. Does that qualify it?
roll.
Eats fish. That
Yeah.
qualifies, surely.
Animal
That's-
companion.
Kind of close,
Is it?
yeah.
Is it on the aquatic animals table? Yes, that seems to qualify.
What are you doing? Nothing? In.
Just purely for my own interest, I've just worked out what the bear's hit points are. I mean, I know you're not going to kill the bear, so you don't need. So we don't need them. But now I know.
He's worked out the hit points, so now he knows we're not going to kill the bear.
Right. Okay, yep, I've got my pokey stick in my left hand. And I am fished in the right. So the aim is I sneak down using move silently and attempt to toss the fish temptingly through the hole.
I'm intrigued. I do find myself wondering what tossing the fish temptingly precisely is.
I don't know, maybe I can get it to bounce and sort of almost flap like it's alive instead of kippered.
Some very strange background music starts
Okay.
playing as she slow motion chucks it.
Do you want to make me a move silently roll? Just
Oh,
in passing.
silently rolled here. I've got 10% chance of moving silently. Did you know that?
Is that what your move silently is at the moment?
Yeah, 10. Yes, if you let me level up with it instead, then it will.
I did actually issue some XP between the last session and now, but I know I still haven't issued enough because I still keep forgetting what people have done to earn individual awards.
Yeah.
So I still need to give out some.
I mean, I'm not a
individual
million miles off
XP.
leveling up my thief class because I've got the cheapest one to do.
No, you're not a million miles off.
I, however, am.
Ranger expensive.
Yes.
Rangers and paladins are the same price, aren't they?
Yes, I believe so.
Basically, fighters that get some magic abilities. Really expensive.
Yeah.
Where do you even view XP again?
You can see XP right on your character sheet. It's slightly awkward, in fact. The best way to see your XP on your character sheet is next to your class and level. There's a little cog, and if you bring that up, it will show you your XP for each of your classes.
Ah, yes, I knew it was something like that. I was trying to.
So Lucian, for example, has 1,199 of the 2,000 needed for next level.
He's got way more XPs than me. I consider this unfair.
No, because it's just that yours are split over 2 classes, which makes it seem like you've got less. Shrine currently has... Why am I bringing up the character sheets? I've actually got an XP tab for the entire party. I can see everybody's XP. Shrine has, in fact, got over 500 more XP than Lucian.
Yeah, right.
Shrine, in fact, has more XP than anybody else in the party.
That's because there's been a distinct lack of justice to be done.
That's what it is, yes. With more justice, you'd have obviously earned more XP.
My Cirque du Soleil act over a 600-foot drop, I think, got me some points. Okay, so is it a critical if you roll bang on what you need? Am I right in remembering?
No,
that?
that's on stat rolls, not on thief skills.
Oh.
There's no such thing as a critical success on a thief skill. They just work.
I mean, the fact that everybody treats these rolls as a success.
Technically, if you look at both, I think both 3rd and 5th edition, there is no special bonus for rolling a natural 20 in the later editions either. It only applies in combat, not to skills. But everybody always still runs it as if that's a critical.
Yeah, critical success and critical failure do not exist on skills in later editions unless the GM so wishes it to.
And it's amazing how many takes.
It's effectively it is a house rule used by every single party.
Yeah.
Because I got 10.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Shrine ghosts down the stairs, making not a sound. It's incredible how quietly she can move. I'm just going to make a quick roll for the bear now, because having said earlier that the way this works is that you're super stealthy, the bear cannot hear you because you made your thief skill. Unfortunately, the bear does have a sense of smell, and you're carrying a fish.
I'm sorry, Shrine.
Top 10 betrayals.
But in my defense, I offered to take one for the team.
At least throwing it temptingly is going to be easier. You can just lob it in a panic.
Okay.
Often panic that anyone.
As you sneak past, the bear has got its nose in a sack, which it's basically just ripping apart. It looks to be a sack of clothing of some kind that's been shoved into a sack. But whether the bear has encountered people who keep food in sacks, or whether maybe the sack itself was once used to store food or something, you don't know. But the bear has clearly taken an interest in this sack and rather disappointedly just ripping it apart, pulling out and shredding clothes. It's not actively shredding them. It's not, oh, I'm annoyed, this is only a jacket, rip, rip, rip. It's just that to get the stuff out of the sack, it's pulling it with claws, so it's not coming out particularly well.
It's nothing.
But either way,
it's that it's found edible stuff inside clothes before.
That's entirely possible. Yeah, they're called people, I believe. Yes.
Wow.
So distracted by the sack and the clothing, it has not noticed you. Sneak past, and you can indeed throw a fish. Where are you throwing it? Are you throwing it presumably somewhere between the bear and the portal? How many fish did you pick up, Stephen?
I'm assuming about maybe 10.
Okay.
Assuming that I'm having
That's
the
a
money
lot of
for
fish.
it. I don't know how expensive fish is in Waterdeep.
Not particularly. This is a port town, so fish is actually one of the cheaper things that you can buy.
Perfect then. I got like about 10 fish because I was like, okay, if I'm not going to use all of the fish, we have enough for Stephanie to make something really good for breakfast.
Okay, that makes sense. 10 slightly smaller fish, obviously not 10 huge great things. You've not got 10 salmon. But 10 small to medium-sized fish that you can carry reasonably.
I just love the image of Stephen just lobbing a freaking bunch of giant salmon fish.
And now the fish slapping dance.
It's better than the tentacle slapping dance.
So, How many fish has Shrine taken with her? Stephen
All
had
of
10
them.
fish.
I gave her all of
I
them.
tried to pass them all, but I've only got one hand.
Okay, so in that case, if you've given Shrine all the fish, then there are 7 fish on the stairs now.
Yes.
Right, so yeah, you throw your first fish somewhere between the bear and the portal. Are you waiting for a response, or are you going to lay your trail of fish and then see what happens?
Can I ghost around the back of the portal?
Make me another move silently check.
Nope. It's not
Okay.
fail or anything, but it's a nope.
As you start sneaking towards the portal, the sound slightly behind you and to your left stops, and you look over your shoulder to see the bear staring at you.
Time always bid.
A low rumble emits from its throat. Everyone upstairs can hear the low rumble of a bear.
Hi.
We're not
Hello.
going in to help until we hear Shrine screaming, because we may disturb things and make it worse.
Yes.
Tell you what.
Saying that to everyone within earshot right now.
I've got
Especially Lucian.
got a nice fish for you. I'm stepping backwards very carefully, not taking my eyes off the bear, not taking my eyes off the fish, nearly, not taking my eyes off the bear, but I am also not lifting my feet up. I'm gliding my feet back, so if there's anything if there's any obstacle, I will connect with it with the back of my heel before I try and put my weight on it.
Yeah.
So I won't move my foot in, because I do not want to be flat
not
on my
making
back
any
in front of the
sudden
bear.
sharp noises
No.
that might
No
disturb
sudden
the bear.
noises, no sudden going prone in front of a bear.
Okay,
That's
so
fantastic, that plan.
as you glide backwards, the bear's head continues to turn to follow you, and it takes one step forward. It's still on all fours at the moment, which is probably a good sign, because they tend to rise up on their hind legs to intimidate as much as anything before attacking. So the fact that it has not done that yet seems a good sign. As far as you don't really know a lot about bears.
No, I know them from heraldic devices.
Yeah. And vague elvish race memory of living in forests, but that's long before your time.
Yeah, and strange carnival folk who, pay people to box against them. And then make you pay for your own healing. Okay. So yeah, I am keeping calm, and I am actually trying to set up, basically speaking in a low and calm voice. I think she's better using kind of a guard dog mentality here.
I think at any minute now she's going to say to the bear, I want you to focus on your breathing. In and out.
Look at the fish, don't look at the elf, look at the fish.
Look at the fish, not around the fish, not around the fish.
Yes. Yes. So just keeping up an absolute monologue of utter twaddle, just walking through. Good gods.
So other than the tone, nothing different really to Shrine the rest of the time.
Thanks. Thanks, fish. It's good to know you're on my side.
Always.
Yeah, cheers. So, do I need to make any checks not to fall over, make any noises, or pretend
under the circumstances, you are moving backwards through a cluttered floor, so I think I am going to require just a simple dexterity check for this.
No problem. Where's my D20 gone? Where any of my D20's gone? What's the deal? Okay, 16. This shouldn't be that difficult. Touch wood. Well, fuck.
So 17?
18.
18. No, it was close.
So.
Okay, so you've pushed your foot back and slid a couple of things out of your way as you're moving,
Yeah.
and then your right foot, as it slides back, hits something low, wooden, and you just shove it aside. And unfortunately, you've got a little bit too cocky. Everything's gone smoothly up until now. And you start moving your left foot before you finish shoving it to the side, only to discover that it doesn't move.
Oh.
And suddenly, your right foot and your left foot are in almost the same place, and your body's still moving backwards, and you're tipping.
Okay.
You don't have tumbling, do you?
No, I don't.
You didn't take tumbling. No.
So half dex.
I'll allow a half dex. Why not? I'm nice like
Okay.
that.
I am attempting a literal little bunny hop backwards to try and find some stability.
Okay. Roll it.
Oh, for that I roll a 3. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you bunny hop slightly backwards. You look down. There's a box. You're not sure what's in it. It's not that big a box, but it's obviously very heavy because it didn't move.
Yeah.
And you sort of hop your foot over the top of it as you skip backwards with the other foot. Yeah, hands go out a bit to either side to balance, and you recover, breathe a sigh, and look back up into the muzzle of a bear that is now less than 2 feet away from you. You were so distracted by not falling over, you didn't even notice it move. It's still not in an aggressive stance, but its teeth are bared, and it's sort of sniffing, and yeah, its eyes are veering towards the fish in your hand.
Okay, I'm
Rest in
offering
peace,
it the
Rena.
fish from the farthest possible point from the bear.
I will remember you for at least a week, Shrino.
I think Trina just lives permanently on the edge of this should kill her.
Right.
She's not an
Okay.
adrenaline junkie. It's just, it happens.
So, do you want to make me a charisma check?
Oh god, yes.
Seems reasonable.
Yeah, my 13 charisma, that'll be fine.
You're going.
If I tame this bear, I will laugh so hard.
Takes a little bit more than this to tame a bear.
Shut up. I'm willing to give it a go. And more importantly, I'm willing to give it a
Oh, yeah.
go long enough to get Carps down here, and
Mhm.
he can do it.
Let's face it. Bears would so fit Trina's aesthetic.
Yeah.
What? Being like twice the size of it.
Yeah, just nondescript, thiefy swords, and then giant bear.
9. I made it by 4.
Okay. So yeah, you hold out you're holding it for as far down the tail as you possibly can. You sort of wave the fish in the direction of the bear, and it reaches out with one paw, and suddenly you're holding literally just the tail fins of a fish and nothing else, and the bear has a fish in its mouth.
Yes. Yeah, here's hoping that's lovely and tasty.
Yeah. While it's chewing on the fish, it does not appear to be paying any attention to you. Are you attempting to do anything? Or
I
are you
am
just staying calm?
gently retreating out of paw reach. Because I have one more fish.
No, I don't think you do. You had a stick in one hand and you had 2 fish in the
You
other
actually have
hand,
both
and,
of them. Okay.
and you had no time to
Okay,
transfer anything, so it's had both fish. Yeah.
Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, don't ruin. Okay. I am transferring my staff to both hands,
Okay.
so I can, if need be, drop it.
Roll me a D10, please.
D10. I can roll a D10. Nine.
Okay, right. You shuffle back a little bit further, quietly, transferring your stick to both hands as you go. And out of the corner of your eye, you notice that you are now roughly level with the portal. So a quick jump to your right now, because you've turned to face the bear, would put you behind the portal.
Okay, I'm going to do that. You're going to ask for a dex check, aren't you?
I'm not going to ask for a dex check, no. However, that is a sudden movement and will attract the attention of the bear.
It's fine, you charge me, that's great. You can charge me through the portal.
As you jump sideways, there is a smallish roar from the bear, followed almost immediately by the sound of snuffling. You can no longer see the bear. From the back side, the portal is just a grey, opaque
I was going to ask what
shape
can I see
in
from the back,
space.
whether I could see the other side of the portals.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work from this side. You just see
Fine by
grey.
me. Okay. I am going to poke the tip of my staff through the back of the portal.
I don't think anybody else ever came down the stairs, but I'm assuming that Stephen is still at that halfway point and has seen all of this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he has been keeping an eye on the whole situation.
Yeah. Okay,
and
so the last thing you saw was Shrine jumping sideways and disappearing behind the portal. This attracted the attention of the bear, which, back on all fours, fully, is now sniffing around, swaying its head back and forth, and edging slowly in that direction. It doesn't appear to know where she's gone, but is clearly looking for her.
I'm gonna take a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to throw it in the portal.
You're going to have to get down further into the room to do that. But the bear is now much closer to the portal, so you don't need to get past it. But you will be in the room, and if it pays attention to you, it can turn around and charge you.
Close as I need to do this. This isn't the problem. Like, my own risk right now isn't really a problem because, again, knowing that Shrine is on the other side, I don't exactly fear like I could risk anything happening to me, because if need be, she can provide a distraction just like I could provide right now.
Righto. So yeah, you can move down into the room cautiously without apparently attracting the attention of the bear, and then just toss a fish over the top of the bear and through the portal. Its head snaps up as it catches the movement out of the corner of its eye, and it lunges through the portal, snatching the fish out of the air before it hits the ground. It's standing now halfway through the portal. Its haunches are in the cellar, but its front paws and head are now in the forest.
I see anything that's big furniture and pushy that I can push at the entrance of the portal?
The closest that there is are some crates. There are a couple of empty crates which would be easy to push and quite big and solid, but obviously don't have any real mass if the thing wants to push back. But if you just want something big that you can push the bear forward with, that might work.
I'm gonna grab one of those, and I'm gonna yell at the others to come over.
Oh, God.
Okay, so the rest of you upstairs, you have heard some bear noises, a little bit of roaring, and now you've heard a thud of something heavy moving quickly, followed by Stephen yelling for you to come down.
I
What you
shall
doing, folks?
jump down, I'm sprinting down to give assistance in whatever's needed. What do you need,
Yes.
Stephen?
You're gonna see Stephen just trying very, very hard and very, very, fast. You know when somebody's in a big hurry to just pick up the crates and push the bear in using the momentum from the crates. Like he doesn't really want to push them up. He wants to shove them into the bear, more or less. Just use the crate's momentum to bowling ball the bear into...
Basically, you come around the corner, Carps, to see Stephen shoving a mostly empty upended crate into the back of a bear.
That's
I would like a in this edition, things that would have been a strength roll in later editions are covered usually by either an open doors or a bend bars lift gates roll. Now, bend bars lift gates is for really extreme stuff, so we're not going to be using that. However, I would like an open doors roll from Stephanie. If you look next to your strength on your character sheet, you will find that there is a doors box. It says 5 and then 0 in brackets, and there's a little die thing next to it that you can double click on or drag to the chat box for it to roll.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I saw it.
That was a bend bars, so I thought that would be an open doors roll, but it's not. It's a bend bars roll, which it wasn't what we wanted, so I will ignore that. Just roll me a d20.
Okay.
It's annoying.
That's a lot better.
I don't know why
It's
there's
a
no
13.
roll for open doors, because open doors gets used a lot more often than bend bars. For some reason, bend bars has a roll on here and open doors doesn't, which is weird. Right, so 13 on a d20 is not less than your 5 open doors.
if you double click the door's number, it does a roll for it.
Oh, it does it?
Oh, that's
right,
clever.
Excellent. Now we know. Thank you for figuring that one out. So, you shove the crate forward. It doesn't move with any great speed. Hits the back of the bear and just stops dead. Meanwhile, Carps,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Aside from suggesting that's not the best idea,
That's the story of my life.
there's a 400-pound bear in the middle of this thing with its arse end towards you, and you think smacking it on the arse with a bit of wood is gonna help. That's a great way to get a bear scar across the face.
By the way, Shrine, remember that Shrine cannot see any of this because there is a portal in the way, but you can hear what is happening here. I'll leave it up to you how you interpret those noises. So, yeah, back to Cups.
Can I ask, because I did say I was pushing my staff to the back of the portal.
Right. It is solid, doesn't
It is solid.
It feels solid to you, yeah.
Okay, so I can't just stick my face through and say, boo! And
No,
hope
you
the
can't
bear-
just stick your face through and give
my
the bear a heart attack.
In that case, I'm probably quietly head desking against the back of the portal. Just on what
Despite all the evidence to the contrary, we are not playing Advanced Scooby and Doo 2nd edition.
Stephen, have you got any more fish? Because if you've got more fish, just throw it past the bear, through that portal, and it'll
Oh
carry
my
on
god,
going.
somebody's saying. You're right.
Right.
I'm
As you're
gonna.
saying this, however, the bear, of course, is now paying attention, and it
I don't care. I'm
comes
gonna
up
grab the fish.
onto its hind legs and turns. And I think now is probably a reasonable point to start rolling some initiatives.
Uh-huh.
Not
I'm
saying you
so
necessarily have to
sorry.
fight the bear, but nevertheless, I think your actions now are probably going to need to be in initiative order from here point onwards.
Dang
So I should have a little button that will let me roll everybody's initiative at
handy.
once, if I can just remember
That's
where
cool.
that button is. I think it may be that button, possibly. That didn't roll any initiatives, did it? Or did it? Actually, for starters, I should be resetting that round counter. Then we'll see what that does. No, that definitely did not roll initiatives. I know there's a way for me to roll everybody's initiatives, but I unfortunately cannot remember what it is. So that's rather annoying. Ah, hang on. There's a little menu there. I bet it's on there. Initiative. Roll all initiatives. There we go. Those are almost identical to the ones we had before, but same numbers, just on different people. Right. So we have some initiatives. Declaration in reverse order of initiative, because that's how I'm doing my house rule for initiative. So in reverse order of initiative, first person to declare its initiative is going to be the bear, and I should really take Knobwobble out of the initiative
Bear
order
declares
since
its
he's
initiative
not
as
here.
rar.
Yes, the bear declares its initiative as essentially attacking the crate. Anja,
Yeah.
what are you going to be doing?
Andra is still making his way into the cellar to determine what the situation is. So I think it will probably take my round to basically get down there.
So just moving cautiously in and
Yes.
assessing the situation. Fair
I mean,
enough.
I'm a man with a stick. That's about it at the moment.
At the moment, I think everybody is a person with a stick.
No, I'm a person with a fish.
True.
And that's
so-
probably going to not do you any favours now.
Shrine, what are you going to do?
How high is the portal? I mean, I know it's big enough for a bear to get through. How high? and
How high and wide is the portal? The portal is about... Well, it's hard to tell because it looks like it's being cut off by the ceiling here, which is about 7 foot.
Okay.
There was no sign of it up above, so it's not like it's passed through.
Okay.
But where you've got ragged edges at the sides, it's flush with the floor and ceiling. So you don't know how high it would have gone without the ceiling being there. But it is floor to ceiling.
Okay.
To the sides, it is about 6 or 7 feet wide.
Right. In that case, I am poking my head around the side, probably to the right. I'm very sure she's right-handed, and just going, "Hey, bear!" and trying to get its attention.
So just attempting to distract the bear.
I'm attempting to attract its attention because if it comes running towards me, of course, it's going to go straight through the portal.
Only if it runs towards you through the portal.
Yeah. That's what dodging is invented.
Lucian,
Yeah.
what is...
Is there actually enough room for me to fit in the cellar at this point?
Yeah, it's not a... It's a fair size cellar. There's plenty of room down
Yeah, but
there.
there's only so much room on steps.
Yeah, but bear in mind this is a 1 minute combat round, so there's plenty of time for people to come down the steps and be out of your way.
Only takes a few
Okay.
seconds to descend a few stairs.
Yeah.
Faster if you're pushed.
Yes.
Fail the dex check on the top one.
Faster
just
if
roll.
A, you're pushed, or B, there's a bear behind you.
Or see the balls push you down it.
This is one where we're hoping that it is not exit pursued by bear.
Yes, one of the all-time great stage directions.
The Jurassic Park sequence of pressing up against the door.
So
to break it up.
what's Lucian going to do?
So the instructions were to get behind it and poke it with a stick, right?
That was the original instruction, yeah, was to shoo it through the portal with a stick.
Okay, well, Lucy's not very good at adapting to changing things, so let's get behind it and poke with a stick.
I love Lucian so much.
Okay, Stephen, what are you going to do with those fish?
I'm gonna do what Carp says because Carp is a person I trust. So I'm gonna throw in the fish into the portal.
Okay, and finally, Carps.
So you've said this is a fairly big cellar area. How's it lit?
To be honest, it's really well lit at the moment because the portal opens onto a forest glade in mid-afternoon. So you've got a lot of natural sunlight coming in through the portal. It's a bit sort of green and dapply, but there is a lot of natural sunlight coming through the portal. There are also a couple of torch brackets on the walls with no sign of any torches, and one lantern standing on a shelf, which is lit.
I was hoping for torches. Dang.
Unfortunately, no torches. No. When Esimus was down here, he clearly brought the lantern down with him, just put it on the shelf,
And then ran the hell back up.
Ran out without picking it up.
Not a lot I can do. So, are there, between me and the bear, are there any equivalent of pallets or box lids that I might be able to grab?
Yeah, it knocked over a couple of crates, so there would be the lids from those crates would have just been knocked off to one side. So yeah, there is a nearby crate lid.
Perfect. I shall grab a crate lid and effectively try and use that to obscure its vision of me or anyone that's behind me. Effectively make a moving wall.
Yeah. Assuming it is the bug bladder beast of Trial, and that if it can't see,
Largely,
if you can't see it, it assumes it can't see you either.
And also give it less of a vision around, so it's restricted in what it's doing, so it has to go through the portal if it wants to go anywhere.
Yeah,
Effectively
okay.
make a corridor.
Yeah, fair enough. Right,
Try
so
and corral it
you
a
have
little bit.
the best initiative, so you're doing that first, and then Stephen throws some fish. Okay, it's going to sound like a slightly weird way of doing things, but
None
make
of
it
us
a
are
hit
good
roll.
at chance.
Just roll me a d20, please, Stephen.
Weaponized throwing fish.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's salted fish, so they're probably a little bit stiff. So they count as shuriken.
Not quite.
And as they're salted, they would instantly rub salt in any wounds they
Hey,
create.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah.
It's a 5
Let's squeeze some lemon dressing over
Okay.
them first.
plus. I don't think I have any sort of pluses because
No, there's this
I'm a
edition
goddamn
doesn't
wizard.
use pluses. It uses
Okay, good.
How
instead
do you
everybody has effectively
there?
a THACO score, which is to hit armor class 0, and any pluses will purely be pluses for things like magic weapons and stuff like that. You
how
don't
do
have
we
a
go
base
from
attack bonus.
surround the bear and guide it in at pole point back to the portal to roll initiative against a bear being hit with a fish?
I think the initiative.
Yeah.
I think
we got there because you
portal
tried
with
to
the
fall
fish, not
over.
the bear.
Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, you hurl fish. How many fish are you hurling? Are you hurling all the fish, or a couple of fish, or just one fish?
I'm hurling a couple. I don't think I can hurl all of them in a minute.
That's
but I'm
7
gonna
fish. I
hurl
mean, it's quite a lot of fish, but
most of the fish.
most of the fish. Okay, so you wind up and throw 3 or 4 fish, attempting to get them past the bear and through the portal.
No, even more. I had 8 fish, and I think I'm gonna keep like 1 or 2.
So
It's
you throw
it kind
half a
of
dozen fish then.
it kind of depends on if the bear reacts to the first few fish.
Right. The bear will certainly react to the first few fish, because rather than throwing past the bear through the portal as you intended, the bear will actually try and attack you. So you throw 3 fish, and the bear will react to the first 2 fish. Right. The bear will certainly react to the first few fish, because rather than throwing past the bear through the portal as you intended, With that roll, you have instead just thrown 6 fish at a bear. One of them, it just snatches out of the air with its jaws. Another one is batted sideways with one of its claws. And the remaining 4 fish just bounce off the chest of... You're not sure if it's an angry bear or a confused bear. You really don't know what they look like. But you're pretty sure that it's one or the other now.
I'm assuming confused, frankly, because I would be confused as well. Why are you throwing fish at me?
And then we get to Lucian.
Okay.
So, Lucian, you're running up and attempting to poke the bear through the portal, yeah? Pretty much?
Yeah.
Right.
As was directed.
The only ones, well, one of the few ones sticking to a plan.
Kind of, yeah. So again, I'm going
Shockingly.
to ask for a to hit roll. Lucian's Thaco is 20 because everybody's Thaco is 20 at first level in this game. You don't have any to hit bonuses for convenient things like strength because you've got to be pretty high to get as a hit bonus in this edition. But what you do
Can we
have...
pretend the stick is a lance?
No, we can't. I was going to say, what you do have is a -2 non-proficiency penalty. So just roll a d20 and I will let you know the result.
Okay.
That's not a very good roll. With a -2 penalty, that's a 6. So you have
This stick
successfully
is
hit
too
armor
light.
class...
There's just not enough weight in this justice.
Yeah. You've successfully hit armor class 14 on in a system that starts at 10 and goes down as it gets better. So
Oh.
you run in waving your stick and attempt to push the bear, because this is the point here, is to usher the bear into the portal, not to attack the bear. So you literally just reach out with your stick and push gently on a bear.
They didn't specify how much force the poking had, so he's
and
trying to be
you're really not familiar with this particular mode of use or this particular weapon, and so what should have been a forceful thrust, you kind of partway through you sort of stop and carefully place it because you're obviously not going to work otherwise, and just push lightly on a bear, which stares at you as if it doesn't know what you even are.
Oh my god, we're embarrassing the bear.
Shrine.
The one person.
I'm not 100% sure. Maybe another charisma check to distract the bear.
Sorry, I'm just watching my soul leave my body. Yeah.
Hashtag dead inside.
Yes. Oh, they're going to get themselves killed. All of them.
Says the person who's been
Says the person
singing a lullaby to the bear.
Yes. Not dead yet.
I mean, at least you didn't throw it at the bear.
That's another 9, which again is making it by 4.
Okay, so yeah, you lean round from behind the portal. I apologise for this. In my head, I've just got that image of Rimmer from one of the episodes of Red Dwarf. The one where he was expecting an explosion, he's got his fingers in his ears, he's just leaning round the door. And I've just got that image in my head now. So yeah, you peer round the portal and what, you shout at the bear, sing at the bear, whistle at the bear. You're going to need to do something significant to attract its attention because there's some idiot poking it with a stick.
I am going to whistle and snap my fingers. Nice sharp noise.
Okay. So yeah, with that successful charisma check and the right actions, the bear's head snaps round to face you.
Here, boy.
Behind the bear, you can see Lucian poking it with a stick. You can see Stephanie, winding back from having just hurled fish at it. You can see a crate lid moving on its own with what looks suspiciously like Carps's legs.
The Divinity OS.
Yeah, it's very Divinity Original Sin sneaking here, I think. Yes. And you can see Anja standing at the back, just looking slightly embarrassed to be there. And then the bear.
Yeah. Here, boy.
The bear reaches out quite casually. Let me just jump to the bear.
I'm so joking.
Right. Oh, that's not good.
Oh no.
So the bear reaches out quite casually with one paw, shatters the sort of rake handle or whatever it is that Lucian was poking it with.
My stick!
And the paw carries on through the shattering stick and rakes across Lucian's chest, delivering 6 damage to him.
I was going to say, fortunately, Lucian is wearing
This is the last time I listen to any plan you guys come up with.
You weren't supposed to scratch its back with a wooden stick.
No.
However,
Ring, but no.
as I say, it does this casually with its right paw during a turning motion. Effectively, it sweeps with that paw, shattering the stick and hitting Lucian. As it turns round towards you and lunges forward.
What, towards me, was that?
Towards you, yes. I'm going to give you a cover bonus.
That's a relief.
Because you've got a portal in the way.
Yep.
And where's...
Which is kind of what I was after him doing. Or her doing. I'm hoping
so that is a miss. The left paw sweeps out and it's arcing towards your head in a blow that, relaxed almost though it looks, also looks like it could take your head off. But it vanishes into the portal.
Yeah.
And then the bear's paw stops dead as it hits the edge of the portal, which is as solid to it as the back of the portal was to your stick.
Oh. Okay.
Right, and that was the last actor in that round. So next round, and
so now I can kill the bear, right?
Initiatives.
No. The bear does not deserve to die for our incompetence.
Once again, the bear has the crappiest initiative. So, I think I will say that since you can all see what the bear is doing, it's declaring first. I'm going to rule its left paw effectively out of commission. It's on the wrong side of the portal. Yes, it can bring the paw back through and attack with it, but it's a bear. It hasn't really figured the portal out. So it's still going to be swiping pointlessly in from that direction. Nevertheless, its other claw and its bite are both going to be aimed at Shrine. Anja, what do you want to do this round?
Seeing all the kerfuffle, and bearing in mind what the that wasn't meant to be a pun. What the shopkeeper had said, I'm going to try and get down onto the cellar floor, and from a distance away, try and use my quarterstaff to sweep any objects that are in front of the portal away from it and like towards me to see if we can find the wand or something.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Cups.
Clearly, my attempts to build a corridor to guide it back through the portal haven't worked. I say
You're
build a
in
corridor,
roughly
be a
the right
moving
place,
corridor.
but the problem is that your corridor is from this side, and then Shrine's coming from the other side. So the corridor is also angling it towards Shrine as well as the portal.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get around there. Is it fair to assume that we came sort of equipped with all our gear?
It's reasonable to assume you have your standard adventuring gear with you, yes.
Then whilst I don't have a net, I do have rope.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to make a lasso.
Okay. I'm going to say it's going to take you a round to do
That's
that.
fair.
So that'll be this round. Shrine, you've got a bear in the face. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I am going to dodge to the left-hand side of the portal from the back. So my left.
So your left is taking you away from the portal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm basically facing. My body is facing the portal. I stuck my head around the side. On the right-hand side, yeah. If
on the right-hand side, I had it on the left-hand side.
No, I did say on the right.
Did you? Sorry, I missed that.
No, that's all right.
I assumed you'd gone back the same way that you went round there behind the portal, and I missed.
No, I decided since she was right-handed that she probably was going to automatically default.
Okay. In that case, reverse all of the rights and lefts that I said for the bear in the last round, and it's facing in the other direction. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to basically sidestep to the left around the other side of the portal to get the bear's attention again. This side, hopefully, if it tries to run at me, it will now run basically through the portal.
So you are essentially using the withdraw maneuver, so it doesn't get a free attack against you.
Yeah.
Because if you just turn around and run away when in melee with something, which you are, it gets a free attack. So you're using the withdraw maneuver. That lets you move up to 1/3 of your movement, which is more than enough to just get around a portal, and coming around the other side of the portal and yelling at it again, essentially. Okay, you have a much better initiative than the bear, so I will allow that to work when we get around to your initiative. I'm
trying to triangulate the bear's path, basically.
Yeah, if the bear had a better initiative, it would just follow you around the back of the portal.
Yeah.
But as it is, you're going to be able to move quick enough to prevent that. Lucian, you no longer have a stick.
I no longer have a stick, yeah, so I'm going to pull out my pointiest stick made of metal.
Your pointy metal stick, okay. And I assume you're going to attempt to poke the bear through the portal.
Yes.
Or possibly the eye.
This time with my shield, because I've learned my lesson.
So you're drawing your sword and basically shield bashing the bear, or are you just drawing your sword and hitting the bear with the sword while holding the shield?
The sword's sort of pointed forward, but it's mostly going to be a shooing motion with the shield.
Yeah, so essentially it's a shield bash, but you're not trying to actually hurt it.
Yeah.
Motion towards.
Okay, and Stephen. What's Stephen going to do?
Stephen is going to have regrets.
That's a free action. You can still do something else at the same time as regretting.
Yeah, see, Stephen is going to have regrets and is going to see that the bear is distracted, so he's going to go and pick up the fish.
Okay. Yeah, the bear has moved, so the fish
Yeah,
are
the
now
bear has
behind the
moved.
bear on the floor. You can do that.
Exactly. The bear has moved. The bear is busy.
That's not going to take you a whole round because this is a 1 minute combat round. So is there anything you want to do with the fish once you've got them?
Yeah, I'm gonna make noise. I'm gonna be like rather close-ish to the portal
Okay.
still, and I'm gonna make noise.
So you're
And basically,
joining Shrine in her attempt to attract its attention, but in your case, you're using fish as well as sound.
yes.
And you're right by the
and
portal with the fish. Yeah.
Basically, my logic is that I'm gonna draw the bear's attention, and then I'm gonna throw the fish through the portal, and then I'm gonna run.
Okay. Right. Make me a charisma check, please.
Oh no.
I just love that. Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Anil, that is wonderful. Yes.
It's a success.
Okay.
It's a success.
I'm so surprised.
Right.
I
A
did it.
successful charisma check. You manage to attract its attention. You know, you make suitable noises, wave fish suitably, and
Steven
the
is a
bear
very happy
looks
boy.
in your direction. At which point you throw the fish through the portal.
One moment, Fishy. I mean, not that it's relevant to this role, but I'm showing on the combat tracker that Stephen is still under the effects of Bless.
Oh
which
yes, yeah,
they
there's a
shouldn't be.
-4 penalty. I know why. It's because
It's a holdover from the fight.
when I removed
two
when I
sessions ago,
removed
yeah.
the blesses, we had Stephanie here instead of Stephen, and therefore
Yeah,
Stephen got
I'm
missed.
sorry.
So I can just.
I mean, you
that-
still
that'll be
passed.
fine.
Yeah.
You passed it by way more than one, so that wasn't really an issue.
Good spot, though, I know.
But yes, thank you, Anil.
Yeah.
So yeah, you hurl the fish through the portal, and again, the running away will count as a withdraw action, so the bear doesn't get a free attack against you. You're running away, but you're running away carefully, not just turning tail and legging it. Because if you just turn tail and leg it, that's 3 free attacks. This edition is nastier than later on. In
Yeah,
third edition onwards, the attack of opportunity is a single attack. A free attack from disengaging from running away from melee in second edition is all the creature's attacks, however many it's allowed to make, which in this case is 2 claws and a bite. So you really don't want to just turn and run from one of these things.
Now I carefully disengage, basically. Like, I am more interested in letting the bear try to be, letting the bear focus on the fish and not on me.
Yeah.
Basically, that's my aim. I don't know if frickin' running away is the proper answer, because Alexia, have not lived anywhere around woods.
You've never had to lure a bear through a magic portal, haven't you, Alexia? You surprised me. I thought everybody had done that.
Exactly.
Right, so, Lucian. Would you care to make me a D20 roll? Because this is going to be a hit roll, basically. With
Okay.
But I'll worry about the numbers. You just roll me a D20.
Getting worse.
And the bear's armor class is... Where's the bear's armor class? You've lost the bear's armor class. Oh, there it is. Armor class.
Bear's armor class. That sounds like
that's
a location.
that's not going to be effective. You're not going to miss the bear, but you're just not going to do any good. So you bash into the bear with your shield, but even though you put more force into it than you did with the stick earlier, this thing is beefy and it just totally ignores your shield.
Can I
push.
use the pointy stick yet?
No.
Well, you could have, but you claimed you weren't using the pointy stick this round. So if you want to use the pointy stick next round, you can. Shrine, you're
You're gonna
being
have to
distracting
fight
again,
all
aren't
of
you?
us
So,
if you use the pointy stick. Just know this, Lucian.
I would very much like the bear to come in the general direction of my voice, not necessarily my me, but my voice.
it's looking in roughly your direction because
Come on.
Stephen has already yelled at it, thrown fish through the portal, and is even now cautiously but quickly manoeuvring out of the way to reveal you behind on the other side of the portal.
Yeah.
Oops.
I'm clapping. That's the thing I can think of that's the loudest thing to do.
Okay.
Actually, no, it isn't. You said that the portal registered as solid, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm smacking my stick against the portal
Smacking your
to
stick
make a
against
nice
the portal.
loud noise.
Yes, that's going to require me to make a decision as to what kind of noise hitting a portal with a stick makes. Tempting though it is to say that it stops dead and makes no sound, I'm actually going to be nice and say that, yeah, it'll just make a wood on generic something noise.
Well, I'd already tried to poke the end through, so I would have an idea as to whether or not it was
Yeah.
going to deaden the sound completely.
So, yeah, it's not going to deaden the sound completely.
Okay.
So, yeah, you will
Yeah,
get...
I am
You-
going to do a full
Bash
swing.
your stick against the
Yeah.
portal a few times, making a noise.
Yeah.
And indeed, this does attract the attention of the bear.
Yep. It may not be able to see it, but it should be able to smell me in that general
Carps
direction.
is making a lasso. Okay. I think I'm going to ask for a dexterity check for Anja to see
Sure.
how good a job you do of sweeping up anythings.
Success by 0?
That is a critical success in this
You
edition.
do it.
Yeah. Bang on what you needed. So, yeah, you duck forward and sweep your staff through the area at the base of the portal. A number
Here,
of
Anja.
small items are bashed in the direction of the bear. A number of other items bashed in the direction of the fleeing Stephen. And there is a rather unusual effect that you didn't really expect. At the apex of your arc, you hit something that makes a light clicking noise when you hit it. And the whole portal sweeps forward.
Oh, shit.
The bear is now on the far side of the portal because you have swept
Swept
the
the
wand
portal over.
under its feet.
Sweep the bear?
Unfortunately,
Does it
Oh,
take
no.
there is a
someone else
chance
with
that so is Lucian.
Lucian.
It's okay, this is the start of my heroic origin
Right,
story.
I
where
am going to give this a
spend
50-50 chance,
several
and I
months
will
in a
roll
untamed
this.
wildland.
I will roll this in the open so everyone can see it.
So the portal was
11.
effectively being generated by the wand.
The portal seems to be anchored on the wand. You move the wand, and the portal moves with it. And indeed, now Lucian and the bear are both in a forest glade.
What happens if you turn the
If
wand
only I
upside
had
down?
a horse.
You don't have a horse in the cellar.
Anja looks both pleased and chagrined at the same time. A, at having solved the problem. B, at having created a different problem.
How do you solve the problem?
Okay, so the bear was expecting to attack somebody who isn't there anymore. So I'm only going to give it one attack as it turns around and reorientates on the only person still available.
Face me.
So yeah, it. I don't believe it. I'm sure that's what I got last time. Yeah. Okay, so that's a natural 20 both times that it has attacked Lucian. Aren't you glad there's no critical hits in this edition?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I say there's no critical hits.
Well, this is a hit that's
There-
likely to
I'm
bring
still
Lucian
probably
down.
going to die
There
anyway.
are critical hits in this book, but I'm not using the rules from this book, so you don't need to worry too much about that.
If that's another 6 damage, then I'm sort of... Not
On
in a good place.
average, it will be about 6 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just roll the damage against you. 5 damage. Damage
Yeah.
exceeds hit points. So the bear whirls rather confusedly and lashes out backhandedly with one paw. It doesn't rake claws across you this time. It's just that the solid muscular forepaw of a brown bear collides with the side of your head, knocking you to the floor unconscious. What hit points are you actually on?
11 out of 11.
You know that last.
So you're on exactly 0. So yeah, you're not bleeding. You're not in any danger unless the bear decides to continue. You're not going to die, but you are on the wrong side of the portal, lying unconscious beneath an angry bear.
I've learned my lesson about listening to the non-violent means of this party.
I almost wish it was later, because that would be such a perfect place to end a session.
Yeah.
But we're not late enough to end the session, so we will instead move on to a new round. Yeah, that actually is a good time to take a break. Let's take a comfort break at that point.
Sure.
We'll be back in a few minutes to carry on and to see whether or not the bear stomps all over Lucian.
Oh dear.
Let me just find the AFK screen.
I will take that
Okay.
suggestion of a break to make sure the dog hasn't torn up parts of downstairs, and back in a few.
Right, I'm gonna get a drink.
Oh. I'm enjoying this. Why the hell have I got a tension headache? How daft. Stop rolling Lucian's sister's stance. But of course he will, obviously.
Well, someone needs to take over when Lucian meets his end.
Yeah, you just took it personally, didn't you, about the whole thing with the Witcher?
No. What I'm taking personally is that I just got bloodied at a non-violent encounter.
You brought a sword to a stick party.
Never go in melee with a bear.
Yeah. There's a reason bears and boars have their own spears. With socking great pointy bits to stop them climbing down them.
One day I will bet all of you to tweet something about the shows before they start.
Yeah, I know, I'm really
But
bad.
not today because I completely forgot myself. So I'm only remembering now because I want to post my art. So there's that.
Yeah, I need to set up TweetDeck and actually but set them up with confidence that each session is going to happen as scheduled. Beef fudge and stick party.
I love it. I'm so sorry for Lucian.
Well,
Look. Lucian is a good...
He's a good egg at heart. And we're about to see that heart all over the floor.
Yeah.
And
Pretty much that.
I see is my heart still beating. Still beating.
I have returned with chocolate hobnobs.
Oh, that's sensible.
Delicious.
That's alright. I've just been wandering off into bad out of hell for reasons that are entirely to do with Lucian.
What happened in chat? I heard there's something about he was trying his best, which I'm assuming is about me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It is.
Moliere's going a funny colour now. Chocolate hobnobs have been mentioned. I have no dark chocolate hobnobs. I consider this a flaw. I'm either going to make beef brownies after the session, though. I'm just going to make chocolate chip cookies. My sleep patterns are screwed anyway. I may as well bake.
No.
Might go get some leftover birthday cake. That strikes me as an excellent decision, Luca.
Does, doesn't it? Ah, dear, oh dear.
Yep. Non-combat
I will-
encounter. Do this peacefully.
I will admit this is not going at all the way I had expected it to.
Yeah. I was half expecting to need to do something which would put me in a similar position to Lucian, only hopefully with a bit more space between me and the bear. I was thinking about possibly going past the bear into the portal and doing a come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
Ah,
On the grounds that trees to dodge behind are probably, a better survival tactic.
quite possibly. You know, when I came up with this little side quest, I actually wrote in more than just the bear so that there would be enough to fill the whole session. I don't think I'm going to need the rest, am I?
No.
No.
It's always the case with side quests like this.
Yeah.
It's something throwaway ends up taking, a session and a half because it goes wrong or things.
Yeah, epic, you're done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
God, we are incompetent.
I will say that
We
I've
are
got
wonderful.
I've got a notional limit of 10, just after 10 on tonight, I'm afraid.
It's all right.
That's okay. It's about my notional limit anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm aiming for trying to finish up about that. So, chat. And does anybody have any questions at all about the characters, the scenario, the edition that we're playing?
Yeah,
Life
how
of
long
the
is it going
universe
to take
and
me to make
everything.
a replacement character?
You don't need to, I'm going to save your ass. Don't worry about it.
Hey, look, you're on 0 and you're not even bleeding. There's no worries. You don't even have to make death saves in this edition.
Are you doing the -10 or straight to -6 that we used to?
-10 or straight to -6, yeah. But
Right.
as I said, he's on 0 exactly, so he's not bleeding. Unless he takes further damage, he is completely safe. He will eventually wake up on 1 hit point.
Eventually.
Even if you manage to close the portal and strand him in a
With
mysterious
amnesia.
forest glade somewhere.
Oh, now that's the start of a story. Yeah.
Yes, let's strand Robinson in the jungles of Chult.
Oh my god.
Wait, where's the jungle with the cat girls?
Yeah. Well,
That's
I
That
mean,
would be the
talking
jungles of
about.
Chult.
yeah, because then you've
Actually,
got
no, they were
Tabaxi.
Maztecan, weren't they?
Oh, were they?
Well, Tabaxi or Tabaxi, however you want to produce it, are in Chult.
Oh, they are in
Technic-
Chult.
Isn't it?
I lose
that
track, I
the
forget.
jaguar, basically the people whose have an ancestral jaguar in one and an ancestral leopard in the other, if I recall correctly. 'Cause you've
Can't
got
remember.
sort of big cat people in each.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's kind of instead of having an ancestral ape, they've got different.
It's just really weird because it's like, particularly in this area of the realms, like the jungles of Chult are full of. I mean, the jungles of Chult have dinosaurs. So,
Yeah.
because
Did.
Right,
Because of-
Dinosaurs
back
sound cool.
to-
of Tau
Mainstream.
and the Chultan. Well, what remains of the Chultan pantheon. Then next door in Tashlar, you've got the Snake Folk.
Oh.
You've got Yuan Ti.
Yeah.
They're always fun.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I have a friend who's playing one, and every single one of her stories is just the cutest thing in the world. It's just so wholesome. I love it.
I just love the idea that an entire race was dragged up out of the story The Hidden City. I believe it was from Lovecraft. And they only ever appeared there in mural and ghost form. The snake people.
I
And that's
Snake
basically
people
what
are
we are.
adorable as a
Yuan-Ti are quite
concept.
different snake people, I think, really.
Yeah, because the Yuan-Ti are supposedly the children of Seth.
I believe so.
Is it Seth or there's another snake called Varai, isn't there?
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember.
The thing is, playing second ed, like my Faerunian stroke D&D mythology is starting to come back.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me roll a new round of initiatives. And this bear has a really poor initiative. It's dead last
We're not
every
complaining
single
about that in the
round.
slightest.
Yeah.
No.
To be fair, bears are fairly single-mindedly. They don't need to take the initiative. They're not being asked to craft anything or.
Also, this bear was headed for hibernation. It's probably knackered.
It's a bit tired, yeah, you know.
It's-
It's been a long day.
do
Really
with
just wants to
eating
put its
someone-
feet up in front of the game.
It could do with eating someone who's caffeinated.
Or at least had a vast amount of energy drinks.
Yeah,
Possibly of a certain British brand once promoted by their
Possibly
Catholic.
glucose-based rather than caffeinated, yes.
yes.
I was watching a video the other day where they were talking about that time when Lara Croft advertised Lucozade and they
Advertised
renamed it
Lucozade.
Larazade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that. It was probably quite profitable, but probably also not the finest hour.
Wasn't that long ago.
No, I know.
In fact,
But they
we
did it
still
twice,
had
didn't they?
Larazade bottles in the store earlier this year.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
they've done it twice. They did it once when it was still Polygon Lara Croft, and they did it
Yeah.
again
And
when
it did again
they had
when the new movie
one.
came out.
And with Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yes. But no, Daley Thompson had the best Lucozade ads, and partly
Well,
for that-
Iron Maiden soundtrack.
yes.
Oh, wow,
Also,
that-
Lucozade,
okay,
please
so-
sponsor me next year.
What is the bear going to do this round? I honestly don't know what the bear is going to do this round, and I don't think the bear does either. It's a little confused right now. It's suddenly back in
It's
the
had a
forest.
major environmental shift for probably the second time in an hour.
Somebody has
Yeah.
stolen its cave. It thought it had found a nice new cave, and somehow the cave went away, and it doesn't know quite what happened there. So the bear will probably not be doing anything significant this round. Cops, what is your plan this round?
I can see through the portal, yes?
Yes,
I can see Lucian.
Have I
you
dropped
can
my
see
sword?
Lucian.
And
You're
I can
unconscious.
See
You've dropped your everything. The shield is
No,
probably
well, no,
strapped to
shield
your
is probably
arm,
strapped,
so
yeah.
you can keep the shield. The sword is on the floor.
I'm abandoning the plan of lassoing the bear because the bear's no longer in here. However, Lucian's over there. So I'm now going to lasso Lucian.
You're going
Indiana
fishing
Jones,
for a
get over
cavalier.
here.
Okay, Oncha. After the slightly unexpected but successful result of your last action, what next?
Having did I see it with the wand that the portal was
Yeah,
moving with?
You
Okay.
can see the wand at the base of the portal, and you can see very clearly that the portal moved exactly in keeping with the wand, so that it remains in
Sure.
the same position relative to the wand that it was in.
Uh,
before.
In which case, I'm going to go up to the base of the portal, and kneel down and basically crouch down to grab hold of the wand once Lucian is back through.
Right, so you're ready to snatch it up as soon as
Yeah.
they get Lucian back. Okay. Lucian's not going to do anything. He's unconscious. Stephen. Stephen is apparently not here. Stephen is
Yes, I'm here. I'm
Oh,
here.
you're
Sorry.
here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I am still nursing some regrets. Where exactly am I?
Where exactly are you? You're much closer to the portal than you intended to be. It kind of followed you. So you're probably roughly next to cops, who
I
now are only a couple of
am-
feet away from the portal.
I think I will continue to move backwards.
Okay.
Slowly and gently, and trying to be as inconspicuous as possible.
And Shrine.
Oh God.
You're further away from the portal than you expected to be.
Yeah. I'm going to have to come around the other side of the portal to see what's going on.
Yep, that's not a problem. 1 minute combat round. You can move up to 120 feet in that combat round, or 60 feet and still do something. So
I'm going to pick my way, so I don't break my neck, through the wreckage of this cellar.
Yeah.
And just basically come around so I can see, through the portal side and look at what's going on, who's where and what.
Okay, well, as you come round, you can see Lucien lying unconscious at the feet of an angry bear.
Yeah.
But you can also see that the bear at the moment appears to be confused and is taking stock of its situation. It's not actually attacking or charging or anything.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, when Stephen threw fish at the bear, a load clattered to the floor.
The fish that fell to the floor, last round, Stephen picked them up and threw them through the portal. So they're on the other side of the portal, just behind where the bear now is.
Right, okay. That was pretty much what I was going to do if you hadn't already. I lost track, sorry.
That was Stephen last round. He threw the fish through the portal and then...
It's okay, Stephen lost track as well.
In which
Don't worry.
case, I am going to hold my action, which I know is not necessarily a mechanic in Second Dead, but
not a problem.
What I want to do is I'm leveling my pole just on the grounds that if the bear comes towards the portal, I want to be able to jab through at the bear's nose.
Okay.
No intention of actually hurting it, not that I really could.
You just want to try and stop it from coming back through if it tries to. Okay.
I've attempted to use the same tactic for Lucien, but I wouldn't.
So the first person
I see how it is.
who's really doing something this round then is going to be Carps with the attempt to lasso Lucien.
Yeah, is this rope use or is this something else?
I would have thought this is rope use, but let me look up rope use and see what it says.
Because I don't have a weapon proficiency lasso. I don't know if that clarifies as a thing. Or...
So this enables you to accomplish amazing feats with rope, apparently. Familiar with all sorts of knots, can tie knots that slip, hold, slide slowly, or loosen with a quick tug. If the character's hands are bound and held, you can actually use it as an escape artist skill. You can make a proficiency check with a penalty to escape bonds. You get a +2 bonus to all attacks made with a lasso. And a 10% bonus to climbing checks made while using a rope, which I hadn't realised you had. So that's nice to know. So, as a ranger, your non-weapon proficiency penalty is -2. So that means that your rope use effectively balances that out. And you are making a straight roll to hit with the lasso.
Right.
So, easiest is just roll a d20 and I'll work the numbers out.
12?
12.
Doesn't sound good.
Lucien, this edition doesn't have a touch AC rule like 3rd edition, but that's essentially what you're rolling against. His chainmail is not going to protect him from being lassoed. So essentially, he is going to be armor class 10, and you've hit armor class 8.
That's a relief.
So as far as I am concerned, that is going to be good enough to
But
get
is it round the neck?
to get a lasso round one of his ankles or one of his feet.
It's
anyway.
round one of the ankles. I have one leg flailing about as I'm dragged back.
That's going to be about right. Yeah, the ragdoll physics are going to look a bit weird. They always do.
Lucien, you're fine so long as one leg doesn't get caught on the edge of the portal.
Oh! I'm just thinking of all my
The portal closes as that leg is still on the other side.
Oh, interdimensional rip. Oh no.
Oh. Now you see, we could port across the prosthetic rules from The Witcher. I've got loads of that.
We've got the problem, you see, of what's going to happen when the ragdoll physics interact with the aperture physics.
This was a triumph.
No, it really
nothing
wasn't.
about this scene is a triumph.
So, yeah.
Huge
Um,
Pursuing Lucian away from a bear, that's a triumph.
That's a triumph.
Excuse me.
You are the
I'm
only
going-
ones that are
I'm going to give
competent.
the bear a single attack at this point. It's as you pull Lucian away from it back through the portal, it's going to lash out just on reflex. However, this isn't, it wasn't its stated action. It's not its main thing, and it's been caught slightly by surprise, so it's going to be making its attack at -2. However, it is against what is, to all intents and purposes, a helpless foe.
But it's still a moving target.
It's still a moving target, yes. It didn't have a dexterity score to begin with. I think I'm actually going to leave it as is. If Lucian had a dex bonus to armor class, I would take that off, because he's not actively getting out of the way. But I'm not going to apply the.
Can you use my dex bonus as an armor class bonus?
I don't think you have enough fine control over what Lucian is doing here. Most of his armor class, in fact all of his armor class, really just comes from the fact that he is wearing chainmail, and that chainmail will still protect him, and he is still moving as you sort of try and yank him out of the way before he gets clawed. So I'm just going to make this a normal attack, apart from the additional -2 that I am applying to the.
Actually, I thought my dex was harder than it was. I don't have a dex bonus, so.
So let's make a claw attack against Lucian. See if I can manage to do it without.
My poor
better.
sword has been lost.
And this time, finally, managed not to roll a natural 20, but unfortunately, it's still a hit. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's just scratch.
Hang on, what's that effect? Why is it not
She's got first aid skills.
Hopefully, Anjou.
I was going to say.
How much blood can the human body lose before it becomes inoperable?
Well,
Hang on a moment. I'm just trying to work out
not.
why this is showing an effect of +4. Oh, it's an effect of +4 because that's Lucian being unconscious.
look, if
Let
it's
me
any
just
consolation,
double check
Lucian,
that.
that bit of woodland is going to be forever really well
Yeah.
fertilised.
Okay, so interesting to note, Fantasy Grounds actually automatically factored in the +4 to hit for the fact that Lucian is unconscious. So, in fact, that's going to
Do I
be.
get saved by a technicality?
It is still a hit, actually, but it's only just
Oh,
hit.
damn.
It actually hit armor class -1. So if I take off the +4, that dropped that back to armor class 3 and your armor class 5. So it still unfortunately managed to catch you. Sorry about that. So you've taken too much damage. I've just realised you've taken too much damage, Lucian. I'm going to let it stand. I'm just not going to do any more damage to you now for this. So the bear slashes out at you with a claw,
I'm fine with Lucian dying here.
but doesn't
I'm not
doesn't
doing
manage
anything
to tear through. You know, I said you were lucky because that the natural 20s, that there was no critical roll in this game. Apparently, there is a critical roll in Fantasy Grounds. It's using those critical rules. You did take double damage from those hits, which is not a rule I'm using. I didn't realise it was there. It must be in the settings somewhere that I can turn that off. So it automatically did double damage to you, and you did therefore take too much. You should have been. You should still be on. Well, even if I assume that let's just take the second die, that would be the critical one. So you should actually still be on 8 hit points. But rather than retcon you to still be standing, which changes all kinds of things, I'm just going to not do damage for this attack. So apologies for not realising it was going to do critical damage. Still learning Fantasy Grounds, as people may have noticed.
Yeah.
We all are. It's a learning
Yeah.
curve for all of us. That's cool.
Just looking to see if I
Okay,
can
this
find
just adds
it.
another verse to the ballad.
I'm
It's
not
okay.
averse to that.
We are happy that Lucian is safe now. Right? Lucian is safe now.
Is
I'm
Lucian
working on it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, attack damage bonus on critical. There it is. I hadn't noticed it, so therefore I had left it turned on.
Honestly,
now-
I am
it's
amazed
now
at how
turned off.
fast you managed to find it.
The
Well done.
options are pretty well laid out, actually. And
Yes,
on this,
but also there's a lot of them.
yeah, on this this rule set in particular, Celestian's done a very good job on it, and things like those rules all come on. There's one section of house rules and optional rules, so you just scroll down to that, and it's quite easy to find in there. So there we go. That won't happen again. We've turned it off. But in the meantime, Lucian has been given a little bit of a helping hand back through the portal by
Lucian is taking a
bear-
lovely little nap.
a swipe from the bear, but it's not done any additional damage to it. Yeah, not the first time Carps has saved Lucian.
Flashback to that time I jumped into water.
Yep.
Why does Lucian keep needing saving? Mainly
Because
from his
he's
own actions.
Lucian. Right, so assuming
Oh my
that,
god, Lucian was the damsel in distress this whole time.
yeah,
Yeah,
assuming that
but-
Anja is going to do as originally stated, as Lucian crosses the line of the portal and is back in the cellar, Anja snatches up the wand and immediately the portal winks out of existence.
So hang on. So what I wanted to do is like,
Yeah.
is it as soon as I grasp the wand, is it that the portal closes?
Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Okay, sure, right.
Yeah.
It's not like I have to push a button on the
No,
thing or
there's
anything like
no
that.
control that you need to operate.
Have you turned off the portal remote?
I can't find the on button. Why have you got a universal
Yeah.
portal remote? I don't know.
I'm shaking it and I'm trying to get a
So-
little bit more out of the
You-
battle.
Look, I'm
Snatch the
rolling
wand
it
and the
backwards.
portal disappears. You are now standing in a very cluttered cellar.
Yep.
Which is a bit of a mess. You've got an unconscious Lucian lying on the floor with a lasso around 1 foot. And Anja is holding a magic wand. It is indeed. It's wand size and shaped, as you would expect. It is made of a dark wood of some kind, and does indeed have 2 ivory bands around it, roughly 1/3 of the way along its length each. So a third in from one end and a third in from the other end. The one nearest the top does indeed look to be loose, as described by
Do not
Esimus. That would be the
twiddle
one that he presumably fiddled with.
Does this cellar have beams across it at all?
Yeah, probably does.
Are they flush with the ceiling, or could I get the rope over the top of the beam?
The
hang it.
beams
Oh, okay.
themselves
That'd be
are
harsh,
flush
but-
with the ceiling, but there are angled supports on those beams, which you could get it round one of them.
I mean, there's possibly hooks as well on them.
Yeah.
By his ankle from one of those. I'm waiting for him to come
Oh.
around.
Okay, Lucian is now dangling by his ankle from the ceiling.
I mean, I get hanging him, but
Yeah.
until the meat starts to soften a bit. But
When we say to him, "Don't attack the bear," he did.
To be fair, he didn't like go sword out slashing. He just tried to shield push him.
He tried
In-
to jam a bloody pole in the bear's ass.
That was what I was
Yeah, got
instructed to do.
no,
To be
it
fair-
wasn't.
I suggest we just have a gentle word with him and explain the meritorious rights of not prodding a potentially hungry bear, because they get angry. Then we let him down and everything.
Ethan is gonna try to make himself as invisible as possible.
I'm just looking at the wand thing. Is there any are there any sigils? Like, is there a mage sigil on it? Like, Andra has now actually just become wrapped up. He's not actually paying that much attention to what's going on around him, because otherwise he would intervene if.
Have you got him secured by just the one ankle or both? Because this strikes me as really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really want to reenact the hanged man here.
No, I'm just thinking that's a groin strain waiting to happen.
If I did only get one leg, then I will secure the second before
secure the second leg before stringing him up.
Because I don't want to do him any damage. I just want to be
Sort
face to face with him while he's hanging upside down. And
okay, fair enough. Right, the wand appears to be unadorned. There's no carvings on it, no sigils on it. Just these two ivory bands.
Okay.
And despite the fact that Lucian was unconscious, I'm including him in the XP award. Because I'm nice like that.
By the way, that appraise doesn't give me any clues towards items like that.
I don't think so, because it's magical, but I will take a quick look.
We don't have a, like, in inverted commas, magic expert other than Knobwobble, do we?
No.
I thought you were the magic expert.
Stephen's other half.
I am a wizard.
Stephen is still a wizard. Stephen and Stephanie have identical abilities.
Yeah, we're both
They just have
wizards.
different personalities.
Just playing him like an idiot, but he actually, a lot of Stephanie's knowledge rubbed off on him. So he could actually help you.
Okay, in which case, knowing that you have magical capacity, Andra goes over to Stephen.
Yeah, I think like, even I don't think you would probably know that I have any sort of magical capacity, because I haven't really used it at all.
But Stephanie has.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Share knowledge because you've said so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So I will pass the wand over to you.
Okay, so your appraise proficiency draft will only let you appraise it as a piece of art, not as a magical item. It doesn't give you any value on that.
Fair enough.
So I can't discern anything from this. There are no markings for me to read more into. Perhaps you might have better luck. And pass the wand over to you, and then go and see if Lucian requires medical attention.
Lucian does require medical attention.
Please state the nature of the medical emergency.
The emergency medical clerigram. Hollow cleric.
Yeah.
Or the emergency clerical hologram.
I want that as a magical device now. It's just a small, like, tablet thing you carry around. And
an emergency clerical spirit form.
Yeah.
I want a handheld one.
Yeah.
Little cleric.
Like a little Unestone almost that just
projects a cleric for you.
No, I'm sorry, that's Rimmer.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, it's the same thing, because they gave the doctor the hard light, like,
hologram,
mobile thing, didn't they? Later on.
Yeah, hard light drive. Sorry, not the hard light drive. The mobile emitter.
Yeah.
They gave him a light bee.
Essentially, yeah.
I mean, technically, I don't have medicine as a non-weapon proficiency. Actually, I mean, to be honest, if I see now that I turn around and see like Carl's trying to hang him up there, it's like,
you see blood. That's supposed to be in the body. Push it back in.
Cart, let's let him down. Let's take a look at him. He seems remarkably injured.
He'll be fine. He just needs a little lesson first.
All the blood rush to the head.
He'll wake up in a second.
It's possible in the heat of the moment he may have got the wrong end of the stick, as it were.
Oh,
Bear didn't get the wrong end of the stick.
the bear got the whole stick.
And that's the problem.
I suppose we shouldn't give calm stick for that.
I mean,
if anything,
Twice I've saved his backside.
Yeah.
Because he did something stupid. I don't know if I can cope with a third time. There are lessons the young man needs to learn.
we may need to be a bit more detailed in any plans before we enact them.
A little more specific in describing what we intend to him, yes.
Yes.
And possibly a little more worldly understanding on his part might be needed.
Possibly, but I feel his sans a master, his education has been somewhat lacking in all areas. Like he is a good lad.
Common sense is something missing that perhaps he should
We only
try
get
and
that.
learn.
We only get that through experience. He has had a trying time in his. If everything that you have told me
Okay.
is true.
Then let's make a deal, you and I. I let him down. The next time his idiocy gets him into danger, you're the one to save his backside, not me.
How about, as a backup to that, Onza, what would it take and how much would it cost for you to teach Lucian common sense? I mean, literally, sit him down, blackboard lesson.
Andra's eyes go wide with a slight smirk. I'm not entirely sure I have enough time or funds to do that.
Are you up for a challenge?
However, it is entirely possible from what I have learned of Lucian in this time that we have spent together, that I could probably find some instructional material that will serve him well in lieu of mother. Should he so wish. Obviously, I have no desire for either an unwilling student or for us to be effectively talking over him. He is an adult and has his own wishes.
If he lives long enough, he's probably got the potential to be a worthwhile human. I would quite
Lucian?
like him to live that long.
Lucian has skills and talents that may not necessarily be readily apparent. He has shown himself to be true of heart and
It's not his heart, I doubt. It's his head.
Just as a completely unnecessary aside, in medieval culture, the idea that thought came from the head hadn't yet been invented. It was generally considered that intellect rested in the stomach.
Oh yeah, that's true.
In the guts. That's where the whole thing about gut instincts and gut feelings comes from.
Okay, then he follows his gut far more. He should follow his gut far more.
Maybe we should feed his gut.
It's all about guts and manly spirit.
Keep your manly spirit to
We haven't
yourself,
seen his
mate.
guts yet. It'll be arranged.
No.
I think enough other folks have been attempting to do that.
Yes.
Not least of which the bear.
I'll let him down, but I don't want to be saving his backside again.
Thank you.
And
Obviously,
Fish, just to be absolutely clear, I will gently lower the rope.
Okay.
Let go.
Rather than just...
Yeah. Well, one more hit point and he's bleeding out. So.
I will gently lower him down.
Oh,
Okay, so you've recovered the wand. You've made a mess, but the portal is closed and the bear is not here. So technically, you have succeeded in your task. Is somebody going to go and tell Esimuth?
I'll go tell him if no one else is.
I will, because I'm going to leave them to
So,
a very awkward discussion.
No, I will see to tending Lucian, and just making sure that we can get him somewhere so that he is probably going to need a full day's rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. We come up and go, Stella's wanted.
He's going to need a full day's rest. Stroke, me spending at least 2 spell slots
Slots
tomorrow
on-
on Cure Light.
Yeah, that's entirely
Okay.
possible.
I will head up to the shop then. Do you want the good news or the bad news?
I've always felt that it was probably best to take the bad news first, because then you end on a high note, don't you?
Well, I'm assuming that you're probably after a reorganisation of your cellar anyway.
Not really.
Now you are.
And the bad news, if that was good.
Oh no, sorry, that was the bad news. My apologies, I got them the wrong way round. No, the good news is there's no bear in your cellar.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that was the bad news.
It made a bit of a mess.
Well, it's a bear. I suppose they do that sort of thing.
Yeah. It didn't, however, think your cellar was the woods, so that's one less thing for you to clear up.
He actually will laugh at that.
As soon as he does, so will Trina.
If you come towards for role playing and
Yeah.
comments,
I am definitely giving RP awards for this session. There is definitely RP XP coming up.
One of
and in
our
fact,
number...
what the hey, I'm going to give you an additional brownie point for that as well. So you're up to 4d4 brownie point dice now.
Our young fighter, however, took some grievous wounds in the battle. Do you stock supplies we could use for bandages?
Right.
That sort
I
of
tell you
thing.
what, it's not something I actually stock in my store as such, but let me just have a quick look. And he delves into a locked cupboard underneath the counter and comes out with a ceramic file.
Ah, now this will do him the power of good.
Potion of healing. I think that should probably do the job if you can manage to get that down him.
We'll manage. Thank you so much. Back in the mode.
Is this where the funnel comes in?
The funnel,
much.
the massaging, the throat. Yeah. It's that kind of feeded dark. So,
Just find a damsel in distress and do mouth to mouth. That'll be fine.
I've seen people attempting to get pills down birds' throats. I think we can see this. I'm going to head back down and say, Onzia, you reckon you can get that down him without choking him?
It's not something I have had experience with doing so before, but I can try.
I like how Onzia's sort of become the adoptive parent of Lucy.
I'm just thinking in terms of only person with even vague knowledge of healing.
Well, that's the thing.
I said vague.
I mean, technically, like, all my knowledge is magical because I know how to cast Cure Light Wounds. I am not a herbalist or anything like that,
No.
but I guess there is a potential that... I mean, I've seen it happen, so...
You know what a wound is.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, yes. I've snagged us a healing.
Well,
potion.
that was remarkably kind of the shopkeep. Yes, no, I will try and get Lucian up, and then we can head back to the inn. He's going to need bed rest, and I'm going to need rest if I am to use my ministrative powers on him tomorrow.
So, can you use the potion to get him up and mobile?
Should be.
I'm going to play this old school and not say that there is any kind of roll necessary to get a potion down an unconscious fellow.
I've always wondered about the potential for using basically jam as the basis for a healing potion, because you're less likely to actually choke because it's less likely to go down the wrong hole. It's more of a solid, and therefore triggers the autonomic swallowing reflex.
Plus, who doesn't like the idea of healing potion on toast? I mean,
Exactly. I'm just thinking blueberry jam, just to keep it consistent with the colour.
So more like jam than say potted shrimp.
Oh god, yeah. Oh no, that's just no. That's nasty.
Stones, cream, and healing potion.
Obviously, potted shrimp is for potions of water breathing.
Ah.
But, yeah, I'm just thinking. Yeah, you can use it as a nicely thickened.
I mean, that really does beg the question of a potential next character of being the culinary healer, more so than like many classes have actually done that. I mean, because I know there was like a baker class that was done for a version of 5e.
Okay.
So yeah,
we go.
medicinal chef.
I like the medicinal chef.
Yeah, I mean,
medicinal
honestly, I can't see any real reason why you couldn't use an alternative base for healing potions. The potion creation rules in this edition are so vague.
Yeah.
That you could probably just mess around with them and make what you want.
I might even remember what the magic item creation rules in second ed are, because I did have a wizard that spent a lot of time crafting items. It's I
want to create a wand of create wand.
No recursion.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think you have the XP to do that.
In Realmmaster, that would be an entirely feasible thing, because you can create a wand to cast any spell. So yeah, you could create a series of wands which between them contain all of the spells you need in order to cast to create a wand.
Oh, and now we've got as a wand crafting station with like conveyor belt, just zoom, 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 zoom.
Yeah,
it's satisfactory, but the fantasy edition.
Yeah, fantasy satisfactory. That is fantasy.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose I did create the potion of effervescent healing,
you did,
which required you to shake it first.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of splurged all over you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm now trying to work out. It's like, you do the shake and vac and put the healing back.
You do the shake and back and put the hit points back.
Yeah.
When you said a potion of effervescent healing, I thought you had like some sort of Barocca type tablet you just drop in water in there.
Now you see that actually would be
that
cool.
actually would be really good for adventurers, because it would take up less space, wouldn't it? And all you need is a water skin and a cup.
Yep. We're looking for
the bartender. Yes, as Lupus says, cocktails that heal. So yes, actually, I might try and do.
I want to make a character now that walks around with a bag just full of potion ingredients and mixes them together on the fly, and then just throws them at whoever needs a potion.
Thomas.
I mean, to be fair, that's an alchemist.
Yeah. Oh god.
Yeah, but a clerical alchemist as opposed to an arcane one would be a really interesting idea, I think. Anyway, we're sliding a bit off topic.
So,
Did we even have a topic? I love you, Fishy, but...
No, we did have a topic, barely.
Ouch.
That
I need
hurt.
a better place to put my books. Every time I pick one up, the rest of them all fall over.
So yeah, I get the healing potion down Lucian's throat. How much does he heal back?
That's what I am just checking. I'm going to remember. I have a feeling it's 2d4 plus something, but I may be completely misremembering healing potions from this edition. Healing 2d4 plus 2.
Do you want to roll that, or shall I?
I don't mind. I'll let you roll it.
That
way it's your fault, not mine. When he gets
Either
4
way,
back.
he's going to end up with some.
Yeah, he'll have at least 4.
At least 4.
Which is 4 more than he has now.
Oh, those deaths didn't roll. Okay. Fancy grounds, please.
Oh wow.
4 plus 2, so 6.
4 plus 2, so 6 points. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with 6 hit points.
Indeed.
That means I might only have to use 1 spell on him tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Wow.
So, yeah. Lucian, you wake up feeling considerably better, but still rather battered and unhappy. Back in the cellar, the daylight has gone, the portal has gone, your sword has gone.
My sword is gone. I can't afford a new one
It's
either.
on the other side of the portal.
How much is the sword again?
I mean,
Was his sword out? Was it not holstered? Didn't he have a?
No.
he
drew
drew
it.
the sword, but he attacked with the shield. So he did indeed drop his sword when he was knocked
To be fair,
unconscious.
That's karma.
Yeah, I want to say 15 gold for a longsword.
Yeah, I want to say 15 gold for a longsword as well.
I've got Aurora just here if you want me to look something up.
Is it a bastard sword's 25 though?
I've
I know.
got it right
thing
here.
is-
Longsword, 15 gold.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember whether it changed because I know that's the third ed. and I
We
know
better
that's
be
the fifth
doing
ed.
lots of open area engagements for the next sort of 20 sessions.
Because he's going to be fighting on horseback with a lance the entire time now.
As Lucian comes round, I said, "Well, let's get you back to the inn. I think you need rest, and
Could have been
probably
more.
a
I think
chat.
the stick plan
Yeah,
needed a bit more discussion.
The stick
Awesome.
plan was fine. The execution needs more discussion.
Yes, well, we've all had a fairly rough day. Um,
we should
more
discuss
than
reward. I owe you something because you got rid of that bear for me. I mean, okay, the place is a little bit of a mess. But,
No, you
know,
owe us nothing since we failed to protect your merchandise.
Lucian,
Lucian,
I thought-
shut up.
taken many heavy blows to the face.
You, at the very least, young man, you seem to be missing a sword. I can at least replace your weapon. He roots around in one of the crates and pulls out a serviceable but mundane longsword. It's
Actually,
not
genuinely
up
don't know
to
what to
the
do in character here.
it's not up to the standards that you prefer, but you have neither your kit nor your class demand that you can't use it. It's only armor
Yeah,
that has to be good.
The problem is that it's accepting charity.
It's not. It's
no,
accepting
no,
a
it's not.
reward
It's
for your
accepting
heroism.
your generosity is most.
Yeah.
It's accepting a thank you.
Shrine is specifically going to say this is absolutely acceptable payment for our work. And I'm choosing to give that to Lucian. Thus, that's not charity,
And
that is simple payment.
you've all done me a great favour, so you'll get the best possible prices on anything that you want to buy from my store in future.
That works for me.
Thank you kindly for all you've done for me.
Long-term friendship. That's worth its weight in, well, silver at least.
I look at Stephen. Was there anything about that one that you were able to find out?
What
Right.
do I roll?
Stephen does not have any suitable non-weapon proficiencies for really knowing anything about it, besides just being a wizard. What you can do, if you want to, is your one skill per day, your one spell per day that you have memorized. At the moment, you have Detect Magic memorized.
Oh yeah, of
Now,
course
you
I
already
do.
know that it's magical, but if you cast Detect Magic, you can get an idea of how strongly magical it is.
Oh, I am so proud of past me. I am so proud of past me. Okay.
So,
I'm sorry, I am trying to find the.
Or
Yeah,
while
if you-
it's happening, I turn to the shopkeeper. It's like, what do you want doing with the wand? We can attempt to safely dispose of it, given how much of a problem.
well, I don't know how it works, besides the fact that it did. And to be honest, I'm just as happy to see the back of it. If you want to take it, if you want to find some way to get rid of it or figure out how to use it for yourselves, you do that. I'm fine with that. I just want it out of my store so I don't get any more bears in my cellar.
Thank you. We will find some way of rendering it safe.
Right, so yeah, spells for future knowledge. On the actions tab of your character sheet, it's got two little sub-tabs, one weapons, one powers, and that will show what your current spells are. To give us a way of casting the spell, but I'm damned if I can remember how. Oh, look at that. You can just double click on the spell name, apparently.
Oh,
And
or like that.
no, that didn't cast it. That just put up the information about it in chat. I think
I'm thinking that if we take that
now
wand
it's shown as
and
cast
use
because
it
I've manually
somewhere
ticked it as
safe
being.
for
Yay.
us, we could try and explore back to where the sword was lost, and we could go and rescue
Mhm.
the sword through
Do
the
we
portal.
want that?
That was kind of my thought as well.
Yeah,
Thinking the same thing.
but I would need a map of the Adventurers Quarter, and where basically a map of Waterdeep before we started, on the grounds that hopefully it would map
Somewhere safe.
exactly. Well, I was thinking it would map exactly to where the portal opened, because either it will open to the same place every time, in which case not a problem, or it opens
Or it's
at the equivalent.
Right, yeah, I see what you're thinking.
Of
There are two
location.
places you can get at least access to a map easily in Waterdeep. One of them, interestingly enough, is the Zorstar,
Okay.
where Anja has been earlier today, because that being the Scriveners Guild, in addition to writing stuff, they also do art
Cartography.
and cartography. So, for example, members of the guild are hired by the Watch. They kept on the Watch constantly has a number of guild members at their service for sort of drawing up wanted posters and things like that. And they also do cartographic work. There is one cartographic shop in the Adventurers' Quarters as well, the owner of which is a name that Anja will have recognised. During his trip back to the Zorstar today, he will have put two and two together and realised that the cartographic shop that he has walked past a few times in the Adventurers Guild belongs to a well-respected, high-ranking member of the guild who is known particularly for the high quality of his maps. And that's just down the road from where you are now. But, as I say, he's a high-ranking member of the guild, so probably charges quite a lot.
Yeah. The other thing for Shrina in particular is that you have in your party somebody who has artistic ability and direction sense, non-weapon proficiency.
Yes.
There you go.
Because Anja did ply his trade as services as a local cartographer as he was coming up the Sword Coast.
Yeah, we can work. Yes, so we can work it out. It's not going to be an immediate thing, but we can work this out.
I can spend some time. I can spend some time if we need trying to make a map of the area myself.
And then that will give us a bearing. For when we go to seek out the.
Yeah, if you go through to a different part of the forest, then you'll know where to head to find back to the glade. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I approve of that. That's nice thinking. Right, the detect magic spell.
Yes, I know I have 10% chance of detecting a certain school of magic per round.
Indeed. So, do you want to roll percentile to see whether you get your 10%
yes,
chance?
I am. I'm still trying to figure out which ones are percentile.
If you right-click on the D10, then on the radial menu that turns up, percentile is one of those. There's one of the options on.
Yeah, I was. Oh, there it is. I was actually.
It's not really within 10%, so.
Definitely not.
No, not really. However,
I still have one try.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's one.
It's you can. I will allow you to study the same thing for both rounds and have another roll at that. Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of, because otherwise.
What you will get is you get an idea of the general level of the enchantment, which is either dim, faint, moderate, strong, or overwhelming. And in this case, this is a strong enchantment. So it's not as powerful as it could be, but this is some high-end magic in this wand.
Okay, I am a bit unsettled. And
where did he say he got the wand?
He said that he found the wand in an Ormish puzzle box that was sold to him by a group of adventurers in amongst the loot that they had got in their last adventure.
Now, when you say Ormish, remind me what that means. Where that?
That's the country. Orm is the country that Anjou comes from.
Right.
It's a bear from Monsieur's home.
He's still got the puzzle box.
Yeah, he's still got the puzzle box. In fact, if you're looking around, you can see the puzzle box in this room, in amongst the junk on the floor, because
It's still there.
it got knocked over by the bear during its little short
Does the puzzle
time
box
of
have
tenancy.
Any markings on it?
It does have some markings on it. They're not markings that are particularly familiar to you, but obviously if you show it to Anjou, he will be able to identify them. There's no writing or anything on it. It's fairly standard designs, but it is a fine piece of work, and an examination of it. It is made of wood, but an examination of it will reveal that there is actually it's laminated, and it is wood. Lead wood.
Lead?
So an examination will reveal that although it looks wood both inside and out, if you sort of like slightly peel away one side and look behind, the whole thing is lead lined.
That was sensible, and that's Shrine saying in character.
Why is that?
Well,
Shrine is
Stephen
not a magician.
can certainly tell you. Shrine would not necessarily know, but
Shrine
Stephen
would not
can certainly
know.
tell you that lead is an excellent material for blocking detect spells.
If you wanted to carry a wand without anyone knowing, that would be a really good way of doing it.
Also, this is a strong magic.
Yep.
I can't really tell you more about it than this, sadly, because it's a little above my pay grade. Maybe Stephanie can try again tomorrow. Maybe I can try again tomorrow, but right now that's all I can tell you. It's pretty strong magic. It's a bit overwhelming, I say, and I put it in the box.
Well, we know how it works. We know what it does. We know how not to use it.
With the box open, is it possible to discern how the mechanism works to make it close and open?
Well, Esmith has already figured out how to open it, so he can indeed show you how the puzzle box works. He looks slightly disappointed at the idea that you're taking the puzzle box as well, but he doesn't actually say anything.
I was going to ask him how much he wanted for it.
Yeah.
We haven't said we're taking it yet. So far, I think all that's happened is that Stephen's just put the thing back in the box.
Yeah.
I am willing to ask how much.
Fine piece of work
Estimate.
like that. I was hoping to put it on sale for quite a bit, but if given the help that you've been to me, I reckon I can let you have it for 50 gold pieces.
I mean,
we are still in the gratitude stage, so that's problem. Can I appraise it?
Yes, you can make me an appraise roll.
Okay.
Knowing that it's made of wood, can I take an estimate as to how much work has gone into making it?
Yeah, because you've got appropriate non-weapon proficiencies for this.
I'm a
haven't you?
carpenter.
You are a carpenter. Make me a roll against your carpentry then.
My appraising is 13. I rolled a 13.
Oh, bang on.
Wow.
Okay,
I got 10,
so
which is 5 under my carpentry.
given the lamination, quite a bit of work has gone into this. It's not just laminated in that it's got a layer, a lining of lead. Also, the exterior decoration is made by laminating it with multiple types of wood to form the decorations. This is a pretty nice piece of work that someone has put a lot of thought and effort into. Shrine, you would identify this as being worth around 100 gold pieces on most markets.
That's reasonable then. Okay, I am going in that case to suggest that certainly me and Carps go 50-50 on it.
Happy to.
That's a good price, and
Yes.
we're happy to take it.
Do you need more money?
We can sort that out back at the
Okay.
end.
Because I know you've been paying for a lot lately, and I kind of want to do my part as well.
Well, while they're discussing, I'm going to pay Esmith for the whole 50, and then we'll sort out divvying up later.
Back at the inn, I've just deducted the 25, so back at the inn I will give Carps the 25, the half.
Okay, and I think that's a good place to leave it. We said we were aiming for finishing about 10, and by my reckoning it is 4 minutes to 10. So it gives you a little something to think about. Next time we play, we will flash back to find out what happened at the Zorstar and the Worshipful Guild of whatever they are. So, thank you all for playing. I hope you enjoyed that little thing. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. What are we playing next week?
Hang on. We had to shuffle round slightly.
We shuffled, and I can't remember which way we shuffled. Did we do a straight swap, or did we move the sequence?
I believe we just did a straight swap.
So that means that logically next week should be Mutant Year Zero then, yeah. But if it's not, it'll be Crimson Skies, I suppose. Yep. So we know it's one of those two games next week.
Yeah.
Either I'm happy with and comfortable with.
If you're new to Hint Plays Tabletop, please do throw us a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, jump through to twitch.tv hint_plays and throw us a follow there so you can see when we are live. And if you didn't see the entire session, it will soon be on YouTube. If we can get a link to the YouTube page in chat, that would be great. As are the previous episodes of this campaign. And various other games that we've played, because we have a rotation of 3 different games at any given time. Currently it's this, Crimson Skies, using the Savage World setting, run by Nightbites, and Mutant Year Zero, run by our good friend Felix. We've got some Halloweeny goodness coming up soon, as Drut runs the new Alien RPG for us for the first time for Halloween. That'll be coming up.
There are going to be so many people
at the end of this month.
I'm going to have to create so many backup NPCs because it's the cinematic game which expects carnage.
Carnage, indeed. Yes, should be fun.
You're muted. Chrono.
Are you doing that on the 25th or the 1st?
I am doing that on the 1st. I have taken on the 1st. So I thought I'd do it as close as possible to Halloween itself. And that seems to just work. Mm-hmm. So, and please God, don't make me do it any sooner. I haven't written it yet. So yes, on the 1st, I will be doing Halloween special. So that will be a 1-sessioner of the cinematic version of the Alien RPG, which runs differently to the campaign game in as much as you are not expected to survive. Final girl / final guy may be a thing.
I would be interested to see whether I die, because I've played from the old Aliens RPG. I've played a few games where you are not expected to survive, and I've so far survived all of them. So I'm kind of half hoping that I die this time, and half hoping that I maintain that record.
But you will be, I can tell you this, you will all be at a station, a waypoint station, and the scenario is centered around the station's bar.
Oh, what a surprise!
Yeah, I may possibly have been flicking through Tales from the Floating Vagabond.
Can I have a lemming with a thump gun?
You played a bloody xenomorph called Chuck.
I did play a xenomorph called Chuck, yeah. A xenomorph colonial marine, in fact, called Chuck.
Just a quick thing as well, if you want to support the channel, help us pay for the various hosting costs and such, then I'm chucking the link in. Oh, that's not right. You can tell I can't actually see. That's the beastie. That is our donation link. So any contributions are greatly received. and they go towards supporting the channel. As I said, hosting fees, server fees, that sort of thing for the various games that we play, both role playing and video games.
Also, pretty much everybody here streams in one form or another. So I'm just throwing some shout outs in there for various people.
That was the other reason for not doing anything actually on Halloween itself.
Yeah.
I figured that there were going to be clashes left, right, and sideways,
Oh,
and
everybody's going to be
immediately
wanting to do
after
something for
was
their,
probably going to be safer than in the club too.
Yes, indeed. There is much RQ goodness coming up on Halloween itself. So stay tuned to our social
I've
media.
just got to remember
And
what
and
Alexia
our
has
channel.
got in the way of underscores in her name.
Yes, looking forward to what the RP are coming up with. It's not like you guys are known for spooks.
I mean, Mike played Alien Isolation yesterday. He's got Outlast and Five Nights at Freddy's still to come.
Oh, that'll be fun.
He's doing Outlast.
And I believe
Next week he's doing
Himself
Outlast.
on Alien Isolation.
I
Outlast left me in
believe-
bed for 2 days. I'm not even joking. I had to stay in bed for 2 days after playing Outlast.
Wow.
I physically made myself sick while playing.
And am I right in thinking that you are going to be playing some Alien Isolation, one of the DLC for that,
I am
at
doing
the end of the
tomorrow.
month before we
Tomorrow,
do
right?
the? Oh, I thought you were doing Alien Isolation before, closer to the.
I may still be doing it, but I'm
yeah,
starting
okay, fair
it
enough.
tomorrow. I am doing the Crew Expendable DLC, where you take on one of 3 members of the Nostromo crew and get to run. Basically, it's from the point where Dallas goes into the vent in a remodeled version of the Nostromo ship, which is taken from the set design notes. So it's an accurate remodeling of
I'm
the
looking
sets
forward
as
to
seen
seeing
in
that.
Alien.
Oh, cool.
That should be cool.
I can play as anyone but Ripley, but unfortunately I'm going to be playing
But you're
Ripley.
not going to play as anyone but Ripley. Yeah.
And it's voiced by the original cast.
For anyone wanting something a little bit not horror, on Wednesday, my regular stream at 5 p.m. BST will be Crusader Kings 3.
Excellent, looking forward to that.
And I am starting a look at the tutorial and then probably running into the next week with a new game.
I hear some very good things about Crusader Kings 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on Tuesday, I'm going to be doing my usual drum streams, both on Tuesday and Thursday this week, and
Excellent.
beginning the hype up for both Halloween. I've got a special Halloween stream coming up with a officially licensed and paid for 4-song set from the Cat Empire.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Do
then
like a bit
also
of Cat
hyping
Empire.
up a charity event that I'm going to be doing in November with Drums Giving. There's something like 20 drummers doing a weekend-long event between
Nice.
us.
Wow. 20 drummers drumming. Sorry. My fault. It was
5
there.
broken sticks.
20 drummers and only 5. Bloody
Yeah, I was
hell.
thinking that.
Yeah.
Your ratio's out. So yeah, put the donation link up, and everybody
Yep.
has their shout outs. So
Robinson, aren't you gonna stream something? Did you finish?
I don't. Well, I mean, I'm just continuing with what I'm doing at the moment.
You're
Although
No Man's Sky
I
at the
think
moment, aren't you?
it's, I don't, because I didn't want to say it because I don't know 100% for certain yet. But I think the release date for Tears of Avia is sort of set for the 15th, which is this coming Thursday.
cool.
So at which point I will be abandoning everyone else's semi-Halloween themed stuff to play cute anime stuff again.
It'll be a nice calming
Fair enough.
change from the terrifying horror of the season.
But I don't know exactly when that's releasing because it's still the release date is being pushed around quite a bit. So I didn't
Even
wanna...
I am trying to. I'm planning on doing a Halloween themed stream of Rebuild on Friday.
Ooh.
The closest to a Halloween thing I have
Rebuild
is tomorrow.
the Flash game, not whatever PC monstrosity you're all imagining.
No,
It's
that's
just
fine.
city builders with zombies. Okay, it's still on my brand. It's cute. It's adorable.
Fair
I love
enough.
it.
Sounds good.
After that.
Yeah, because tomorrow I'll finish the Living Ship storyline for No Man's Sky.
Oh,
I would have finished it today, but then I woke up really late and didn't have enough time to stream it before this stuff.
yes, you
I have
can't
no
have
specific stream plans, but it wouldn't surprise me if either some Imperial Galactic Survival or Elite Dangerous were to suddenly appear on my channel at some point this week.
I was about to
We'll
ask.
see.
yes, an Imperial
It may
Elite
happen.
dangerous
Yes,
survival.
Well, so far I have found the Imperium Galaxy to be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
More so than in previous iterations of it, it's got to be said.
Okay, so
Right,
thank you
yeah,
very
let's stop whiffling and say goodnight then. Thank
See you
you
later,
again.
folks.
for
Take care,
being here.
everyone.
much. Good night, then.
Bye.
See you all.
Bye.